We grab those things.
Oh, baby! Turn the motherfucker That's right. This is what I do. Come on.
One thing I found. Oh no, you never let me down.
I ain't never let you down. Get up, I get. Get up, I get. Get up, I get. Get up, I get. Yo, first I snatched the streets, then I snatched the charts. First I had their ear, now I have their heart. Rappers came and went, I've been here from the start. I seen them put it together, watch them take it apart. Seen the rovers roll up with ribbons. I seen them repo, be sold, and be driven. So when I reload, he holds number one positions. When you hot, I'm hot. And when your feet cold, mine's is sizzling. It's plain to see. Niggas can't fuck with me, cause I'ma be that nigga for life. This is not an image, this is God-given. This is hard living mixed with crystal sipping. It's the most consistent home, give you the most hits. You can fit inside a home distance. Nigga, I'm home on these charts, y'all niggas visiting. It's home tradition, Jericho in the rap. I'm back to claim pole position. Holla at your boy.
Get up, I get. Get up, I get. Get up, I get. Get up, I get. Down for my grandfather who took my mama, made her sit in that seat where white folks ain't want us to eat. At the tender age of 6, she was arrested for the sit-ins. And with that in my blood, I was born to be different. That niggas came naked to balance to choose leadership. But we can make it to Jacobs or to the dealership. That's why I hear new music and I just don't be feeling it. Racism still alive, they just be concealing it. But I know they don't want me in the damn club. They even make me show ID to get inside a Sam's Club. I done did dirt and went to church to get my hands scrubbed. Swear I've been baptized these 3 or 4 times. But in the land where niggas praise you cons and getting paid, it's gonna take a lot more than coupons to get us saved. Like it take a lot more than do-rags to get your way. Nothing sad as that day my girl father passed away, so I promised to Mr. Rainey I'm gonna marry your daughter. And you know I gotta thank you for the way that she was brought up. And I know that you was smiling when you seen the car bought up. You sent tears from heaven when you seen my car get balled up. But I can't complain what the accident did to my left eye, cause look what an accident did to my left eye.
Particular path. You don't need a curriculum to know that you are part of the math. Cats think I'm delirious, but I'm so damn serious. That's why I expose my soul to the globe, the world. I'm trying to make it better for these little boys and girls. I'm not just another individual. My spirit is a part of this. That's why I get spiritual. But I get my hymns from him. So it's not me, it's he that's lyrical. I'm not a miracle. I'm a heaven-sent instrument. My rhythmic regiment navigates melodic notes for your soul and your mental. That's why I'm instrumental. Vibrations is what I'm into. Yeah, I need my luba rende, but that ain't what gives me the heart of Kunta Kinte. I'm trying to give us free like Sinkane. I can't stop, that's why I'm hot. Determination, dedication, motivation. I'm talking to you and my many inspirations. When I say that I can't, that you will self down. If I were on the highest cliff, on the highest rip, and you slipped off the side and clinched onto your life in my grip, I would never, ever let you down. And when these words are found, let it be known that God's penmanship has been signed with a language called love. That's why my breath is felt by the deaf, and why my words are heard and confined to the ears of the blind. I too dream in color and in rhyme, so I guess I'm one of a kind in a full house. Cause whenever I open my heart, my soul, or my mouth, a touch of God rains out. Take them to church. Get up, I get, get up, I get, get up, I get, get up, I get, get up, I get.
Who else you know that Pop is gone? Started from nothing, but he got this strong. Threw the rock from a pebble, pedal rock before I met you. Pedal bikes, got my nephews pedal bikes because they special. That you tell it, man, I'm falling well. Somebody Somebody must have caught him, cause every fourth quarter, I like the Mike Jordan them. #1 albums, what I got like for them. More them on the way, the 8th wonder on the way. Clear the way, I'm here to stay. Y'all can save the chitter chat, this and that, this and Jay. This and Jay will get you maced. When I start spitting them lyrics, niggas get very religious. 6 Hail Marys, please, Father, forgive us. Young, the Archbishop, the Pope John Paul, and y'all niggas, the way y'all all follow Jigger. Hope's a living legend.
WIFTVPM.
Mayoral Jackson.
If you could make up a social media holiday, what would it be?
Randy said National Don't Let No One Put You Down Day.
No one. What you gonna do? So when they say something crazy, you slap them?
Be like May said. Remy said a Jukathon Day.
Man, we about 60 years old. I be done had a heart
You
attack.
gotta get your heart rate up.
Okay, that not that far.
All right, Mario said my favorite one. My friends and I do what we call National Call Off from Work Day.
As a business owner, I don't.
You don't like that, yeah.
I don't like that one.
Because I'm the boss of this family.
We got Marcus Garvey Day from Remy too.
Oh, Marcus Garvey Day. All right, what will we do on Marcus Garvey Day?
Call off from work.
I'm gonna need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. That would be great. Okay?
Yeah, right.
Every black holiday has something to do with calling off from work.
You're cool. I'm out.
About National Join a Positive Black Organization Day? Because I don't want to be recruited. I don't want to be recruited and the brothers be like, thank you. Thank you. How about National Tell White People the Truth Day? Tell them how you really feel.
You can't handle the truth.
Why don't we call that National Black People Get Locked Up Day?
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Hello.
The most dangerous show in the morning.
WIFTVPM.
Uh-oh, what's in it for the black people?
You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Mayoral Jackson. Mayoral Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Ty Stroger, I am the host of the Mayoral Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them May said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case, he was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gon' sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System to milk is so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System to milk is so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to Senate. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends DNA get spilled on. God Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let this give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System to milk is so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System to milk is so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Mays Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mays Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis, the ruler, in the building on this, we blowing up on a Tuesday. That's right. I got off my little rhythm for a hot minute. But that's right. We are Tuesday. It is Tuesday the 13th, which means that Riis, what is it? 31 days in December. And I feel like December 31st is really not a day. That's like a holiday. Because the holiday is the 31st. New Year's Day nowadays really sucks. Like, it used to be football day, but now with the college football playoff, it's like, it's like, remember when New Year's Day used to be the end of the year? Like, New Year's Eve and then New Year's Day was like the day. Like, football, you watched all the games, then you knew who the national champion was by the end of the day, right? And all that good stuff. And now it's like 2 weeks after that, it's like they done extended it. Now next year they're going to have, in 2024, they're going to have 16 teams. A 16-team playoff. Joe, it's like they going to make football year round. They got the USFL coming too. Riis, there's a lot going on out here, man. But it is, we are blowing up on a Tuesday right here on the Mays Jackson Show. Man, Riis, okay. First of all, let's back up. Let me just do it like this. Let's just go ahead and get this thing kicked off. DJ Riis, the ruler, on the ones and twos. How you feeling today, brother? How you feeling today? How'd it go last night? First of all, what it was like? Did y'all take Mondays off?
Oh yeah. Well, I'm blessed by the best. You already know the rest. But yeah, we only open Thursday to Sunday. So,
okay.
Yesterday was just my baby girl last cheer game, so I went to go watch her cheer.
Where's she cheer
at her school.
Okay. Oh, so it was her last.
It was her last because she graduated out of 8th grade this year.
Oh.
So it was her last cheer as a in grammar school.
Oh.
So I went to go see her.
Do you remember they used to?
Yeah, she had a little cheer competition Sunday, and then they did their performance at the boys' game yesterday.
At the boys' basketball?
They both won too.
So. Wait, basketball season is over already?
Almost. They got like one game left, and it's an away game. So yeah.
Oh dang! All right, man. We just getting into the season. Well, Riis, go ahead, give your baby girl a round of applause, man, for her last cheer game in grammar school. See, that's how I can tell you still suck, Riis. And is it really grammar school? Because I think in the suburbs it's middle school.
Yeah,
see, Riis. Let's just be clear. That's a clear distinction. When you've moved on up, your kids do not go to grammar school until they're in 8th grade. There is a break. See, I think that the wonderful thing about the suburbs is they say 5th grade to 8th grade. 6th grade to 8th grade, right? But 5th grade, it's too much. It's too many blurred lines between 1st and 8th grade, right? Like it's too to me. It's too much. You need to break that up. You need to break that. The 5th graders need to be the biggest in the school, and that's it. You don't need an 8th grader dating a 5th grader. You just don't need it. You don't need it. You really don't think. I'm just telling you, man. I'm just telling you. So, Riis, a clear distinction between a city school and a suburban school is if you use grammar school and 8th grade is still in it. See, we said elementary. Yeah. In the suburbs, it's elementary, then middle, then high is where we connect. Right? So just,
That's how it is, but
Riis, you be trying, you know, Riis, she not from Chicago, bro. She not from Chicago. Forest Park is not Chicago, bro. All right?
Yeah.
Let's get it right, man. All right. Now, Riis, that's dope, though. That's dope. Your baby had a cheer game. Shout out to all of the cheerleaders at what school? Or I don't know if you want to say school, but
it's all good. It's Forest Park Middle School. So
shout out to the baby to the cheer squad at Forest Park Middle School. You know what, parents? Also, I want y'all to, at some point, I want my shorties to call and tell us what they doing this Christmas time. So y'all gonna be home from school. I want to hear who kids went to college, who kids came home, who kids is kicking it this summer. I mean, this Christmas. I want to hear from the kids too. Riis, so I'm glad you brought that up because I was gonna bring it up too. First of all, Riis, can I say and I don't know how to say this, right? Except to say that I am having the best time watching my son play basketball that I have ever had in my entire time. Like, you know how you are. I have been the faithful, supportive dad, right, who has supported him through all of the low confidence and all of the stuff. And Riis, I must tell you, I am enjoying basketball season this year because it's like he finally got out of his shell, dog. It's like I feel like I'm finally seeing all of those years of all of the stuff, and you be seeing them flashes of like, oh my God, wait, he can play basketball for real. He was like, all summer, he was like, Dad, I could play. I was like, yeah, I got you. He was like, Riis, this thing. And then yesterday, the coach was like, shoot, keep shooting, keep shooting. It's like I feel like he like right on the brink of like, cause gosh darn it, what is with these kids and these 3-point shots? Riis, it be like nobody in the mid-range. Like, I'm like, you can have 20 points a game just shooting mid-range jumpers the way you shoot. Riis, I be like, it's closer. You can get more faster.
Old school way, man. Anybody born up to 2000 understands that anything after 2000, Steph Curry has tainted their brains.
Riis, I be like, you could be 20 and 10 every night if you would just stop firing threes and be like, where there's nobody trying to block. Okay.
Yeah. I watched the boys game yesterday, and like it was like this little kid. I'm just like joking, but we was calling him like Westbrook because he shot every
team got a Westbrook.
Everything. So funny. Like, I'm talking about he had missed a good 10 shots in a row,
and kept shooting.
But he is one of the best players on the team. I guess just like a little off night. So the game get down 1 after they was up like 8. The coach called a timeout, tells him, I don't care, stop shooting the ball, pass the ball, there's people open. The man goes right back out there the next 2 possessions and he hit a floater and then he hit a 3-pointer.
And then you can't tell him nothing else. And then it's like, I told you.
Yeah, it did. But then like also we be looking, they had the second biggest player in their conference, and of course he don't even start the game. He's like 6'4". And he's the most, and you can tell he's like, the most nicest player on the team. I'm sorry, I apologize, but it was a good game though. But but that's how they play, man. They shoot all threes, come down there, just shoot the ball, like
man, Riis. I'd be like, boy, if you could just shoot every team got a Westbrook. Every team,
they be in the foul penalty.
Man, Joe, if he won them, win the bonus. I be like, in the bonus in the third.
And then they still shoot threes. I love it.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you though, I have had the most fun this year watching and just like now we getting ready. Like, and then did I told you we had 70? Did I tell you we had 70 ejections on Friday?
Yeah.
7 ejections, right? So yesterday, it was like the whole squad, it was like only 3 stars. Man, Joe, and he cracked the starting lineup. Like he finally, like the coach was like, no. Bam. Then I showed up. There you go, Riis. Hey man, I'm just as a dad, I'm not gonna even lie. Right? Like you want to see a kid be successful. But he had a gamble. He said he wanted to play ball. And it's just been it's been fun just going to the games. Yesterday it was like, dang man, he had like 4 in and outs where it was like the whole, and Riis, let me just tell you this other thing. They was playing a team that I had never, like in the suburbs, Joe. So this was clearly it was a Muslim school, respectfully. Riis, they had state-of-the-art everything. Like, and it was literally only for their kids. Like, it was like, hold on. It's like, it was an interesting experience that maybe we'll have to talk about at a different time. All right, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis the Ruler. Riis, have we got the soul plane up? I don't think we took it off, so let's get the soul plane up and away, 60,000 feet. All right, y'all. All right. Riis, I don't know if you saw what went down yesterday in the Plan Commission at City Council, but it seemed like some fireworks. Hey, man, we're going to talk about what happened in City Council or at the Plan Commission yesterday. There seemed to be an explosion. Seemed to be a little rift in the kingdom over the casino. And now it seems like there's some bigger issues at play. So we are going to talk to, we're going to talk about what happened yesterday in the Plan Commission. Man, Riis, it's crazy the liberties that white people feel like they could take with black people. So I don't want to apologize for yesterday, but I do feel like, man, I don't want nobody to feel offended that I feel like the barbershop. But I do feel like, Riis, there are limited places where black men just kind of get respect. Like where you don't have to take it, right? Like you don't have to demand it. Like you could just walk in and it's like everybody cool. It's like, you know what I'm saying? And so I think I might have got a little wrapped up in that yesterday. And then I see this story about what happened yesterday at City Council, and I just feel like, once again, I think the liberties that people feel comfortable in taking with black men is just unfortunate. And it sucks that you got to snap to be able to just get the respect that white men would afford each other. Right? And that to me, and it's crazy. It almost is like they always mistake your kindness for weakness, and then want to push you. And then when you snap, then everybody want to be like you the crazy one. So we're gonna talk about what happened yesterday at City Council, or in the Chicago Plan Commission. Try and add a little perspective to the conversation, and then really just start to talk about how do we really reestablish the respect of black folks in this city with so much going on? Okay, Riis, get your De Juan. I'm going to stop calling you De Juan. Did you see the new poll?
My boy Chuy doing it, huh?
Your boy. And now it's your boy. Now it's your boy, Riis. It's your boy.
Well, you out there letting them. You know what it looked like? Exactly what you said. He letting the blacks fight each other while he just sit back and just keep letting his numbers go up. Is how many black people in the We be doing it to ourselves.
8. So I don't know if you all saw, but yesterday Local 150 released a poll suggesting that Chuy Garcia beats Mayor Lightfoot by 7 in the general and by 31 in the runoff. Then the next closest, they're saying that Willie Wilson polls at 10%. The mayor's at 18. Paul Vallis is at 14. So it's either Chuy, the mayor, and Chuy and the mayor, or Chuy and Paul Vallis right now. To overtake Paul Vallis, he'd have to get to the third spot. He'd have to raise up 4. To beat the mayor, Willie Wilson's got to make up 8 points. They said the rest of the candidates all together don't equal 10. So it's them 4. Which means that once again, Riis,
all Willie need to do is give away some gas about 2 more times. 2 more times.
Riis, I think that got him to where he at.
Right, so like you gotta, you
think he
give him gas to go.
He gotta give away $2 million a week, fam.
No, just on the election day, give away free gas so you can go vote. I'm gonna make sure that everybody can go vote. So he gonna give away gas, and then that's gonna have the people in their mind like, oh man, he just gave away free gas. Boom.
Man, Riis, I don't even. This is so. We gotta talk, y'all. Black people, we really got to have a talk. Because y'all do realize that if I heard a great statement. Well, no, I ain't going to even tell the statement, but it was a good one. It was like, if you with me in the general, if you with me in the primary, you get a big piece of the pie. If you with me in the general, you get a smaller piece of the pie. If you're not with me either way, you get good government.
Oh.
Right? Hey, man, we've been getting good government. You see how that worked out, right? We need a piece of the pie, Riis. And it's like, the more these things keep happening, I know, Jerome, nobody ever believes it, but it'll be right at where everything basically sits. Man, when you talk about that, they said black people are split on the mayor 50-50, which sounds about right, Riis. You be like, I like the mayor. I'd be like, I get it. You be like, the mayor. I'd be, I did it. Right? So just think, the mayor and Willie equal 28% of the vote. That's the black vote right there. Okay. If that be the case, Riis, and 50% of the black people are already siding with Chuy, because they ain't thinking this black and brown stuff like us. They just like, I like that mustache. Riis, we're going to have some real conversations in a minute. Because y'all not finna have me outside again for another 20 years. I just got to tell you. I'm just not Riis, I'm too old to be sitting outside. Too old. I'm going to have to pull out my MLI card. Speaking of MLI, new Alderman Annabelle Abarca. I gotta. So I'm Sister Erica, just so you know. I'm drinking ginger water to clear the congestion. All right. Annabelle Abarca for the 12th Ward Alderman was appointed yesterday. Riis, she was in my MLI class. And you know what I remember her from? Because she, remember that what's that song? And Busta Rhymes would be.
You just put the Yin Yang Twins beat to Busta Rhymes. I don't know that one.
You sure?
Yeah.
Not.
That's that.
No,
that's
it's another one. Okay, so we have to figure it out. But anyway, she can rap. I know this for a fact. I've seen it happen. All right. Project Sincere, shout out to Project Sincere. They'll be donating toys away with Boeing aircraft. Shout out to Project Sincere, doing good things. They're always doing good things in the city of Chicago. Did you see Elon Musk showed up at Dave Chappelle's show? And then said, I'm rich, man! He said it too. Jamal Green is calling for a federal investigation of Willie Wilson. Riis, that's shady. Sorry, let me stop.
All publicity is good publicity.
You don't call for the feds, though. You don't, Riis. That's like code breaking. You don't say feds.
If he's already released, well, not him, but from his camp, it was a released tape already of somebody already saying something on tape. So it doesn't amaze me now.
Right, look at me now. Look at me now.
Okay.
Look at me. Yep, that's it. See, I knew I wasn't crazy. Who was that? Look, Chantel. And leave it to Chantel to know what I was talking about too. Look, okay. Anyway, Riis. Then finally the tours. Did you see this? Have you been seeing the tours that's coming out? Janet is going on tour with Luda. They're going to be at Tinley Park. New Edition is going on tour with Keith Sweat and Guy. Anita Baker is going out on tour this year in 2023 as well. It's going to be a year of big tours. And I was just thinking, Riis, you know how we always be so intense? What about today at 8:30 if we pick, I want to have two things. One, what's the best concert or tour you've ever been to? And then two, if you could put together, Riis, your best lineup, like you had to pick an opening act, an in-between, and a finish, and you had to put it together, what would be the ultimate concert that you could put together? The opening, middle, and closing act. And they all got to work together, and it's got to be scalable. So it's got to be 1, 2, 3. We're going to do that at 8:30. So y'all get y'all tour lineup together. All right, y'all. It's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis. Riis, when we come back, we are going to ask we're going to open up the phone lines. We're going to talk to the Saints, and we are going to ask the social media question of the day. That's right, y'all. It's the Maze Jackson Show. And don't forget, stay tuned. We're going to break down what happened in City Council, in the Chicago Plan Commission yesterday in the casino wars. We got Alderman asking, we're going to get black people working on the spots. We're going to talk about it all when we come back. It's the Maze Jackson Show.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break. Maze Jackson.
Tune in to the Maze Jackson Show every day, Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 a.m., where you can catch us on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook Live. Plus, from 6:30 to 8, you can get us on WBGX 1570 a.m. That's right, it's the Maze Jackson Show, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them, Maze said. We out of here. Peace.
And now, traffic and weather.
Yo, who said devotion had to be sad? Yo, check this out. The Lord is my shepherd, shall not want. He's making me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restored my soul. God's gonna turn it around.
Come all the way with me.
Good morning. What's in it for the Black People Media family? The time is now 6:35 a.m. I'm Riis the Ruler with your Chicagoland area traffic and weather report. As we head over to the Kennedy, O'Hare to the Loop will be 24 minutes. Outbound to O'Hare will be 17. On the Edens from Deerfield to Exchange and back will be 28 minutes. While the Eisenhower is 30 minutes. Thorndale to the Loop, 27 minutes back out to Thorndale. On the Stevenson from I-355 to the Dan Ryan will be 38 minutes. Outbound will be 30. On the Bishop Ford is 36 minutes from I-80 to the Dan Ryan, 28 minutes to I-80. The Dan Ryan is 17 minutes to the Loop, 12 minutes to 95th, while Du Sabo Drive is locked in at 8 minutes all around. Today's weather, it is currently 36 and cloudy. Today will be a high of 42 with a low of 35. I'm Riis the Ruler. Happy Tuesday. It's the Maze Jackson Show.
To the grave from the grave. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane, God, to the grave from the grave. Back to glory. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Come all the way with me. Don't leave me
listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man Riis the Rule on the ones and twos. Hey, yeah, I like this hoodie too. I've been sitting. I forgot. You know how you buy stuff, Riis, and you forget you had it, and then it was in the closet, and I was in my hoodie pile, and I found this Actively Black, right? And it's pretty slick. It's got all the cool zippers. They make Wakanda wear. They got a whole bunch of stuff. But I must tell you, it's a very comfortable sweatshirt. But it's all good. Hey, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. I'm going to say what's up to a few people today. Shout out to Bev D. Shout out to Erica Burton. Shout out to Lene Cooper. To Neil in the building. Shout out to my man Milton Ingram. Christopher Divine. Chris, we got to get lunch, man. We got to get lunch. Actually, I want to have a winter luncheon. Maybe, Riis, I think we need to have a broadcast. I think we might need to have a Christmas broadcast. I was thinking, like, what's next Friday? Next Friday is the 20th? No.
The 23rd. Because Christmas is on a Sunday. That's the 25th.
23rd. Maybe we should do a live broadcast on the 23rd. That's Friday. You might be sleepy because you'd be working on Thursdays. Man, I'm thinking about we might do a live broadcast at Obsidian. Hey, you know, the radio station. So I might have to do a little fundraising so we can go ahead and knock that out. Maybe we have a little good chicken dig to get that together. Look out to Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson. Shout out to Oris Williams. Shout out to Bev B. Shout out to Chantel. Chantel, we ain't seen you in a minute. Jerome Williams said, I don't believe it. They say James. Daryl Murray, Brother Brown, Henry Harsfield. Henry, why you be such a hate sometimes, man? Why you have to be acting like that, bro? Hey, man, I didn't tell him to go to the school. He wanted to go to the school because he wanted to go to the big boy school when he was 8th grade. He wasn't thinking basketball. It's all right, though. That's all right. He gonna he gonna be, well, I'm sending the extra to go ahead and play. Do they got a gym extra? Oh, let me stop. Carrie, like, what I got to do with this? I ain't have nothing to do with it. Anyway, I'm just talking smack. Shout out to Daryl Murray, Carl Murray. Shout out to Deborah Roberts, John B. Austin. Shout out to my man John Storm Shadow, Myron Washington, Cassandra Red, Blake Turner, all the way down. Blake, what is bond? Could you tell me what that means, man? And you know, man, Springfield be putting out some basketball players. Shout out to Maurice Newman. Riis, they saying we choppy? Reset on. How we sound? Oh wait. How is it? How we sounding now? Are we back? Giving you. We're still chopping it up. Are we back? Check. Mic check. We good? All right, y'all. All right, so it's a take on Kentucky's Big Blue Nation. Okay. All right, so I still don't know what bond is, but what? So what does it stand for? All right, y'all. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. Junior, hey y'all, are we gonna vote Junior off the boat, Riis? Do we have to vote him off if he don't get a profile pic? I think we gonna have to do it. He been getting too much. He be too engaged in the conversation, man. It'd be like we gonna have to get you, man.
Then he just put a fake picture up. So
what? Did at least make some effort. Like make some effort. Now he said the only reason he got a Facebook account is so he could check out the show. He just be wanting to get in the comments. Right. So he could be throwing us off. It's all good, though. Don't throw me off. Shout out to, who else is out here? Let me see. I did Deborah, Alvin E. Norton, Tiger Lily, Sybil Jackson. I got Erica Burton. I think I got everybody that's out there. That's not Fred Hayes. I don't think I got that. Shout out to Erica Swain. Pharrell. Tell Brian I said what up to. Shout out to Braden. Nephew. Yep, okay. I think I got everybody. All right, y'all. Nobody wants you to call in on my last day. I ain't taking calls on my last day. Nah, how you know? See how people be doing? They see how they planning for my end already? How you gonna plan the show for my end, my last day? You like Tyrone gonna call on the last day and take my last 10 minutes up.
And the freestyle.
Right. Shout out to Tyrone, man. He out in he worldwide, man. He worldwide. Okay. Riis. You ever notice that there are certain communities on the outskirts of Chicago that often look like suburbs? Places like Beverly, places like Hegwish, places like Sauganash, places like Mount Greenwood. And oftentimes in those neighborhoods, it's clusters of police officers. You ever notice that? Like there's certain neighborhoods where Chicago police officers live in the city of Chicago. Do you know why that is?
You gotta live in Chicago, right?
Right, you gotta live in Chicago, but you ever wonder why they all live in the same neighborhood? Often in the same neighborhoods, because they often don't really want to. If they could have left the city of Chicago a long time ago, they would have, because of, do you think most white cops in Chicago would live in Chicago if they didn't have to?
For sure.
Oh, you think they would?
No, they wouldn't.
They go move to the suburbs, right? And so one of the reasons that people don't realize Mayor Daley had the residency requirement in is because he recognized with white flight, if white police officers, he would decimate the white middle class if he took out 13,000 white middle class families. Back in the day, a majority of the police officers were white, right? And so essentially the residency requirement was to keep not just police officers, but city workers who were most likely to be middle class workers in the city, to keep a vibrant middle class. So if you think about it, most people who work for the city usually have a decent life, right? They, they may not live in the supreme neighborhood, but usually they got a crib, they got a crib, they got some kids, they got a car, stable middle class families if you work for the city. And so there was always a residency requirement. Well, now, Riis, we can't keep up with police. We're down almost 3,000 police officers. Can you imagine it only being like 12,000 police officers over 3 shifts? That means it's only 4,000 cops on the street in the city of Chicago. And that's including officers, sergeants, and everything. 13,000. So that means it's only 4,000 cops on the street all across the city. Well, Paul Vallis yesterday released a plan for public safety to rebuild the police department. And you know what he said he wanted to do, Riis? He wanted to lift the residency requirement. And so my question to you, Riis, is for you. Can you hit the button?
It's time for the social media question of the day.
Should Chicago Police Department end its residency requirement? Do you think the Chicago Police Department should end the residency requirement? Open up the phone lines. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. Give us a call. Also, let me say what's up to the Saints of WBGX, 1570 AM, as well as let me say what's up to the people that are the Saints of 1570. You can catch us every day, Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 8 on WBGX 1570 AM. You can give us a call at 872-259-7474, 872-259-7474, or you can listen on the TuneIn app. That's right. The Saints join us every day, 6:30 to 8. Now, if you are a sinner and you catch us every day, you can get our early rising Saint. You can join us every day, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. That's right. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. But Riis, should police officers, because Chicago is woefully understaffed with police. They say we are down police, and they're leaving faster than we can replace them, or we can put them in. Should Chicago police be required to live in the city of Chicago? Do you think?
I believe that not only should they live in the city, but they should even have some type of ties to the community, or been around the area, or have had enough training to be in that area. I think that no, they shouldn't lift the ban, because then you will have people that come from areas that don't understand Chicago. You know, can you imagine a cop that comes, like north, let's just say like a Naperville cop, comes and works the area of Pulaski and Madison. You know, to him, he probably want to get out and arrest everybody, you know what I'm saying? But they like, no, that's not, you know, like how it's done. So, like, I think they need, like, understanding. So, like, if you bring a suburban person to the city, they don't kind of, like, understand the city, if you know what I mean. So I don't think that they should lift it, because, you know, then you'll have people that don't understand the city, like, causing more rift. You know how it is?
I do, but so, Riis, have you ever, I feel like if you see the police officers in Beverly and who live in Beverly, like they live in secluded communities to keep themselves and their kids sectioned away from our neighborhoods anyway. I never forget when I found out that there was a high-profile Catholic school that was on the south side of Chicago that had specific testing for police officers' kids. Why do you think all those cops live in those clusters, Riis? Because they want to live in clusters where they almost section themselves off from the community. And most of the times, the police officers that do live in the city of Chicago, they segregate themselves. They're not in the public schools. So they didn't graduate from public schools. Their interaction with black folks is limited. You know, if you live on the southwest side of Chicago, realistically, you can live and operate, go to school every day, and the only black people you see are in classrooms. Like, if you ever been on that cluster over on, like, you go over by 111th? Like, all up in that Mount Greenwood, East, that West Beverly, like that Beverly area over there? Riis, they kind of built it where it's like it's all white. And I don't know that those are the same people. Like, think about this. It was Chicago residents that did Anjanette Young. So what is it that they're going to learn just by living in a segregated community where they still think that we are animals in some cases? Like, you ever seen a black person living in Mount Greenwood, really? And it's the safest. It's one of the safest neighborhoods in Chicago. It is.
All the police live good.
And if you look at the clusters where all the police live, Riis, right? They section themselves off from the community anyway. Like they might be White Sox fans, they might be Cubs fans, they might be Bears fans, but they really ain't interacting. Like, you look at, who do you think populates like the Catholic League? Right? Like, when you look at these schools, Riis, like, I remember sitting up, they don't necessarily put their kids in public school. I think if the kids of cops went to public schools, I bet they'd be a lot safer. So give us a call, 872-259-7474. I don't know that just saying that you live in the city, especially if you're not integrated into the city. Now, Kevin Haywood says that, hold on, because he said this is really a Chicago thing. There are police departments across the country that regularly advertise here in Chicago for police officers. This is a Chicago thing. This is a nation thing. Don't lift the restrictions. Okay. Christopher says it's a tough one. 5 years ago, I would have said hell no. But now, we are going to be 15. We are losing 1,500 more cops this year. Riis, it looks like the police are being defunded whether we ask for it or not. Give us a call. So do you think having police officers, and Riis, to your theory, what's the difference between a cop from the suburbs and a cop who grew up in Beverly?
I mean, that's what I said. I believe that cops should have some type of relationship or ties, or should be underwent like serious amount of hours to work in certain areas.
So let me give you another example. You probably work for my auntie. Riis. She got pulled over. He had 300 baggies. He had 300 pack. He had a 300 pack. Pulled over. You probably work for my auntie. Over internal affairs. Ties to the community. How you play it? And now, do we want more police? Like Forest Park police, I bet they don't have to live in Forest Park.
I'm pretty sure they do.
Most suburban cops don't have to live in the same neighborhood.
I'm gonna look that up.
Look that up. But most suburban police officers, and realistically, Riis, the challenge is, like, if you a cop that grew up in the town, and your town starts morphing, like, and people start moving out to the neighborhood, you probably likely to be like, oh, no, not these ninjas.
Exactly, see.
Look, Riis like,
No,
I don't want the ninjas.
You know how to protect your community, though. It's like vice versa.
Who protect your community from who?
From criminals. That's however you take it. If I say criminals and black people come in your mind, then that's bad for you. I'm just saying, criminals in general. I mean, we all know that they come in all shape, form, size, and color. So I mean, yeah. But I still think that growing up and understanding the people is like really, really big.
I think a lot of people. Riis, think they do have an understanding of us when they're segregated from those spaces, though. So I don't know, man. I just think it's kind of crazy that I think Paul Vallis is suggesting right now that we should raise the requirements. Hold on. So, Riis, do you think they should? What kind of adjustments should they make to allow police officers to get more police officers? Do you think you need to have a college degree to be a police officer? Do you think they should make you be able to just be a police officer at 21 years old?
It's a regular job. You either want to work it or you don't. Obviously, nobody want to work it. So
we all on our own?
Man, probably so. I mean, I don't see if we got more police. Do you think that the crime rate will go down if we have more police? Do you believe that it'd be less shootings if we have more police, or do you just believe that we have to pay more money in taxes to pay them?
I think depending on where you live.
Depending on where you see, but that's so I'm banking on more police, but I still have to be living in a certain area to receive that protection. So, I mean, what about the other people that say, what if I live in an area that, don't receive extra protection, but I believe that it should be more police? So now I believe in it, and I voted yes on it, but my area don't receive that protection.
You do get more police. You just got more crime. Like that, I still gonna get you 2 more cops.
Right.
But you just got a concentration of.
So it's more crime now.
No, it's not more crime. The 2 cops, if I get you 2 extra cops, they can plow away a little harder.
So they can sit on the corner a little bit harder. All right. Okay. I see you. You can pull away people doing U-turns, but the man on the corner selling weed and doing a weed sign, you'll let them stay. I see that. I can see that.
Riis, you think the police should stop the weed, the local? You don't support the local weed man?
I mean, I have nothing against the local weed man, but the person that's bust a U-turn or got one headlight on, you pull them over.
That's because you can kill somebody with one headlight.
You can kill somebody with a bad bag of weed, okay? That's what I'm trying to tell. Well, that's what I'm trying to.
It must be fentanyl laced.
So exactly, we don't know. But you know what I'm saying? I just like it's a regular job. You either want to work it or don't. I don't believe that more police can save the city.
So how do we save it, man? You know, I was thinking, somebody pointed out to me, we need to reopen mental health institutions and put people back inside. Like they said that's really what's happening. Like back in the day, the reason we didn't see all of this back in the day was because they came and collected everybody and put them in like mental. Like remember when was it Bourbonnais? What is it? Like, remember when they used to have mental health institutions? I guess my question is, though, Riis, like, how do we then... should you have to live in Chicago to go to be a Chicago police officer? I would argue that most white police officers in Chicago have been segregated from the city of Chicago. Nobody has an opinion on this? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. Paul Vallis wants to allow more police to increase the police department. He would like to have police not have to have a residency requirement. I think a residency requirement to live in the city is one thing. I really think that you lose a big chunk of your tax base. Do you really think that the police would leave, though? Like, if you lived in Mount Greenwood, would you leave Mount Greenwood to go move to the suburbs and still come to Chicago to be a police officer? Like, I feel like they've built their own neighborhoods now that are safe enough, their own enclaves. And then my question is, though, because would black cops leave too? Like, real talk, I think if black cops could leave the city of Chicago, I'm saying it as white folks, but I feel like if black cops could leave the city of Chicago, they would too. What you think?
Maybe some, not all. Like I don't know. It's always weird to see. Like I feel like there's always that one black cop in like the suburbs or something like that. I don't believe they will leave like Chicago, especially. I think the pay is more in Chicago than like a suburban.
Yeah, but you gotta shoot a lot more.
I mean, apparently not.
Nah.
I mean, there's no offense to like, cause I have I have family members that are law enforcement and everything, but you said they do the best they can. It's gonna be crime anyway.
Okay. All right, y'all. It's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. When we come back, we are going to talk about front runner in the mayor's race. There is a declared front runner in the mayor's race, Chuy Garcia. Riis, I tend to believe in polling. I know people don't, but I have seen it work. I have seen it when it is implemented properly. It tells a story. And there's a story that is adding up that I don't know where we fit in, but we're going to have to talk about it. Look, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis. We'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break. Mays Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Mays Jackson. Mays Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
Black people, cause economically we are not equal. Waking up to lies, can't toast no more. I told y'all, yeah, this a dangerous show. Don't go to church if you ain't trying to help us. Don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies, not other politicians. We need money and no symbolism. It's Mays and Riis and Ruthie and Ty, explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we united, our movement gon' stop. They ain't trying to do nothing. We gotta do something. We gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect you oppressed to solve wrong.
This is the Mays Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mays Jackson. Got my man DJ Riis the Ruler, and Riis, I still think, man, Tabari said he'll be up out of here. He a city worker. He said if it wasn't for no residency requirement, he'll be gone. I'm going to just tell you, if they raise that residency requirement, I think they decimate the tax base. Man, because I do think there'd be a lot of people who live in the suburbs if they could. Fraylana be busting people game up. She said in East St. Louis, the cops just get them a rental house because it only costs $50 a month. So get you a rental crib. But you know, they used to do the pop-ups. Be like, let me see you at your house. You better be out there cutting your lawn because all the rich white cops had like big cribs in the suburbs. I remember they used to go catch them. Used to be stories in the paper all the time about white cops that lived in Chicago, had a Chicago address, but then had them a real crib in the suburbs.
I don't see nothing wrong with that.
Of course you don't.
I mean, technically, it's my house.
I can have dual residence. If you're an elected official, you can.
So they were supposed to put it in their girlfriend name and just...
No, you can't put it in your girlfriend name because then when your girlfriend get mad at you, then she put you on blast.
Got to be on your best behavior.
Right. This a cop we talking about.
Yeah, or you just put it in your family name. Put it in your mama name. Put it in your mama name.
Live at my mama house.
Yeah, you just say, you know what? You just say, I just really be at my mom's house. You just make sure you get a nice big house that she can stay in there. And then you just say, I'm living with my mom, that she got, like health issues. So I'm just making sure that she's okay.
Hey, how you going to give her health issues?
I'm just saying.
Reese, you can't give her health issues, dog. That come back
health issues.
You can't.
Man, you know all black people got bronchitis.
That
man.
come back
Don't they say bronchitis to all black people?
They invented that for black people. It was like, this
is
a black disease.
Black people got bronchitis.
Dang, Reese said
he
gonna give his mom bronchitis. You wrong, Reese. You wrong. Yolanda, may God speak a blessing over your life today. Please, 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 Yolanda, no bronchitis fever. Lord have Jesus, man, have mercy.
Tell me, everybody you go to the doctor, don't they tell you the doctor tell they have bronchitis?
And Negroes be sounding so technical when they got
they need that inhaler.
That's a weed coat.
All of a sudden, now they need that inhaler. Every time something happens, it's they bronchitis.
Smoking a blunt too. Smoking a beat. Just okay. I'm through with you, Reese. Stop, Reese. We can't be off on this tangent today, man. Oh my goodness. I just think that, if you were a city worker and you could leave, would you? What a lot of city workers, I'm telling you, in Beverly, all the city workers send their kids to Catholic school. They be like, I told you about that time I went to one of the Catholic schools and they said, are they playing the Publix? Reese, I was sitting in the stands the other day. A lady couldn't even speak no English, and she was like, when the fight was about to happen, she was like, "They Publix? They Publix." I was like, what you trying to say? Anyway, it's the Maze Jackson Show. Should city workers have to stay in the city of Chicago? Should Chicago police have to stay in the city of Chicago if they want to be a Chicago police officer? Caller, you on the Maze Jackson Show. Caller?
Hey, Maze, what's up, man?
What up? Who there? You all right?
This Rick.
He's got bronchitis.
This who? You got bronchitis? Who this?
Oh, nigga, I got flu.
Oh, this
Ricky Hendon.
Ricky. What's up, man? How you feeling, man? Hey, man. How you feeling, man? These guys out here breaking all type of codes. But go ahead. What's up, man?
I ain't breaking no codes, dog.
Not you.
I can't help what somebody else do. This RSV flu ain't no joke. So just wanted to put that out there. People need to wear their mask and watch crowds, you know. I spent my birthday in the bed. I wanted to talk about that poll before I fall back to sleep, if you allow me.
Go ahead.
If I did a poll and I wanted to show Randy Spann, one of your main listeners, in the lead, I could do that. I could show Randy Spann first, Pookie second, Ballas third, Willie fourth. That's what I wanted to do. That poll you're referring to, like it's legit, was done by the Iron Workers Union. Just like the other poll showing Chuy on top was done by the Mexican Alliance. These people can control what the poll results are, and then so I'm just, don't put it out there like it's real. The other day, you put it out there when they gave Chuy $1 million, who the Iron Workers Union really is.
Local 150. Local 150. It wasn't the Iron Workers.
Right. So they did the poll, dog. They did the poll. That's the bottom line.
I'm about to get into all of that. Go ahead.
I think, I'm trying to get this before I fall back to sleep.
Okay.
It come and it go. Sleep. I've seen a poll that has Willie Wilson first, Lori second, Ballas third, and Chuy fourth, and Brandon Johnson fifth. The rest of them ain't even showing up. So, and there's a number of polls. What you need to be talking about is a story in the Chicago Tribune yesterday showing the Polish National Congress endorsed Willie Wilson, the Filipino Alliance endorsed Willie Wilson, the Italian Police Association endorsed Willie Wilson, and the Tribune story had two white aldermen saying Willie Wilson is going to win their ward. The other thing polls don't indicate is enthusiasm and turnout. People like me. That's why I got to get well so my troops can be on the ground for Willie Wilson. We going to beat they ass. Whether you believe it or you believe a poll or whatever, we going to whoop them because people make the final decision. There were polls saying the Democrats were going to lose to the Republicans. Big red wave. What happened, May? They didn't have no big red wave. They won a few seats in the House, and the Democrats picked up one seat in the Senate. So don't put that poll out there like it's real. Secondly, Chuy Garcia supported your wife's opponent when she ran recently for assessor. Willie Wilson supported Carrie Steele. I supported Carrie. Your wife. Chuy supported the other dude. All right? And you can go down the list of all these candidates running for mayor, black and white, who supported KG. Willie the only one supported Carrie because we did the right thing. So don't put it out there, bro, like that poll is legit. And I know you finna get into it. I hope I'm still woke. When you do it, but don't put it out there like that. And I told Willie, I said, Willie, go on and do a poll. Willie, like, he don't care. You know, a poll ain't gonna decide this thing, and it's not. So I wanted to put that out there. I did have a question.
Go ahead.
You know, when I do my show, we have a camera that we flip around to the producer. You never show Riis. Is it because of the mystery you want behind it, or he's just hideous looking brother? What's up?
Riis turned let me tell you what happened.
I'll make a good team, for real.
Here go the thing, though, right? See, Riis got mad one day and turned his camera off. And so here go the thing.
Oh,
So you know your parents, like I ain't gonna be parents. He turned his camera off. I used to get up every morning. We had a camera facing, turned around. He had a camera all in the studio. One day he got mad and he turned his camera off, and it just never came back on. So now he just a mystery voice, right?
We gonna keep that story.
This ain't regular radio no more. Y'all live, y'all streaming, y'all on the different media platforms, and it just adds intrigue to the show. But I've seen people do that, and they don't want to show the other person because of the mystery. Let me say this last thing, man. My personal feud with Jamal Green is over on my end, okay? My mama's spirit came to me the other day and said, let it go, son. You proved your point. And I proved my point. He can do whatever he want to do. After I knock him off the ballot this week, I'm done with it. Unless he say something else about my dear departed mother, who deserves better because she raised 4 kids on her own. My daddy died when I was 3 years old. If he leave my mama his name out his mouth, I'm going to leave him alone next time he runs. This time I have to vindicate myself and prove that I ain't have to pay for nothing I already got. He gone, dog. Willie going to make the ballot. That's the bottom line. I'll try to save Negroes from themselves. Sometimes you can't do it. Sometimes you just can't. So big up to Deion Sanders. Get paid, bro. Then leave Colorado and go to the NFL and show that you're the best coach football has ever seen. Not high school, college, professional. The best. Not the best black, but the best. I'm out to prove that Willie Wilson going to be the best mayor we ever have. And that's what we're going to do.
All right. There it goes. Look at that. He ain't even let me get into the poll, right? Before he had to get on. But it's all good. See, look, man.
He's going to be asleep, man. He said
he ain't finna be asleep because let him go to sleep. He going to wake up then. You better wake it up. So, look, y'all. Let's back up. And I do think, it's funny because it's like, I will also point out that Local 150 did support Kerry to the tune of $1 million. But we'll let that all be a whole nother story, right? Like, so it's like, there's no permanent friends, there's no permanent enemies. And realistically, there is a poll that was released yesterday by Local 150. That is the operating engineers. Let's go ahead. Let's see what's going on with the calls. Let's see who is this. Caller, you on the Mays Jackson Show. What's up?
Hey, brother Mays, Ron. Look here.
Ron,
hey.
You back? Ron done got fired up, y'all. What's up, Ron? You back? 2 days, two times in 2 weeks? Somebody must have got up under your skin. What is going on, Ron?
Well, I told you last time, and I'm like you, Mays. Yes, certainly there's sometimes the aberrations, but things don't go according to the polls, but sometimes they can be close. I called and told you last week. Keep your eye on Paul Bounce. That's what I said. That's what the white folks are going to get behind. Now, but I will, and I'm going to say this and get off the air. I'm glad Henry called and said that whole thing about your mama and stuff. He just. Mays, I don't like to be personal, but when you're out in the public, that's how things go. That whole thing with him and Jamal and stuff doesn't sit well with me, and because he is a primary representative of Willie Wilson, I have a hard time voting for Willie Wilson. That's all I'm saying. Because there's some judgment things, and again, I'm not making it personal, but this is what we're dealing with. This is public. That kind of behavior and petty stuff, and it reflects. And again, I told you last week, I didn't believe when Willie Wilson said that he didn't have Ricky Henry. Ricky Henry rubbed me the wrong way, so. That speaks to the judgment of Willie Wilson, and I just can't vote for him. And again, people may not want to hear me say it. Once you become a perennial loser, maybe this will be the last time that he runs. He can do something else more effective with the black community instead of just continuing to run for offices that he Kent Williams is not qualified. Thanks. Have a good day.
Dang, Ron came in and he throw them bows. Throw them bows. All right, that's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. I really want to get into this poll that was released by Local 150. I have not seen. Let me first start this by saying that I am really taking the summary of the poll as given to us by WTTW. Right? I have not seen the poll. I have not seen the crosstabs. I'm going to work to see if I can get a copy of it today. But in the poll, according to Local 150, a random sample of 700 people, and I would argue that I know Ricky says that you can make a poll say whatever you want it to say, and I don't. It really depends on the questions, and that's why I said I have to see the crosstabs, etc. But I will tell you that I learned an extensive amount of polling that I did not know in this past election cycle. And because we were associated with a lot of the same people, there are some components of the poll that I find to be truthful, whether we like it or not. Does that make sense? There were things that the poll told us in the last election that I participated in having worked with someone who was intimately involved in the process for years and years and years. And so there are things that you learn in polling that if you follow, now a poll is a guideline. Does everybody understand that? The poll is not the Bible. The poll is if, then, with this, right? And it puts in a various amount of components. It rotates in questions. It adds stories. It can be leaned to. It can be tilted. It can do all of these different things. Usually, though, if you're doing a poll, the reason that you're doing the poll is so that it can inform your messaging, right? So let's start there. Let's start with the fact that the poll that is that has been dropped was sponsored by Local 150, the operating engineers who gave $1 million to Chuy Garcia. In the interest of full disclosure, I have had a working relationship with them. That is the same group that gave Kerry $1 million, right? But in that process, it was, as I have told you, there was a lot that I learned that I didn't know about polling. And realistically, I thought polling was, who's going to win? No, it is a blueprint to victory. That if we interject these components, here's where we start baseline. If you add this to it, if you bring this in, if you raise these issues, it informs you as to what your television spot should be, what your message should be when you're on the campaign trail, all of those components. And if you have the finances to take the information you have gotten from the poll to actually implement it, then that is what the outcome is. Is that a fair explanation? So, I want Ricky and whoever else to be clear that this is not gospel. The poll is saying that if these things are done, this is how it outlays. Now, according to the poll issued by Local 150 and Riis, I would argue that I would tend to lean towards believing a poll depending on who issued the poll, who did it, and what their purpose was. Now, yes, there is a part of the poll that is used to create a sense of inevitability, but there are some baseline factors that we need to pay attention to. If you believe that the other candidates in this poll together do not equal 10%, then let's start with that. And as you heard, according to, we still got the same top 4, right? No matter how you break it down, right? Ricky did not dispute the premise that there are 4 top candidates in this race. Now, we can dispute the order if we want to, but here's what we do know. That in the black space, if there's 4 top candidates, let's start with Willie Wilson. Then let's say Mayor Lightfoot, Chuy Garcia, and Paul Vallis. We know that Willie's base is black and 2, and I'm not going to debate that he's picking up associations, right? So let's just say that they're in the top 3, or they're the top 4 candidates right now. Let's just say that. We're not, but according to the poll, if you were looking at the race, the top 4 candidates in a 8-way race, or it was a 12 person race, Chuy Garcia would come in with 25%, Lightfoot would come in with 18, Vallis comes in with 14, and Wilson comes in with 10. Okay, that's according to the local 150 poll. Riis, let's flip Lightfoot and Garcia. Let's just flip them. Let's say that instead of Mayor Lightfoot getting 18, it's Willie Wilson getting 18. So now you're looking at a runoff between Willie Wilson. You would be let's back up because I'm going off the thing. I don't want to let Ricky's component take me off. I want us to recognize that, let's say that there's the top 4 candidates. Let's say, is it logical to say that if you were calling the race that you could say Lightfoot, you could say Chuy, Lightfoot, Vallis, Wilson? Could you see those 4 being in the top 4?
Oh, for sure.
Let's move Willie to 3 and move Vallis. So let's move Willie to 14 points and let's move Vallis to 10.
Okay.
What does Willie Wilson do to pick up more white voters? Because the black vote is already split. Now let me break down this poll for you. It says that right now, Lori Lightfoot is dead with white people. Dead. She right now, 84% of white people disapprove of her. 72% of black people, of Latinos disapprove of her. Black people split 50-50. So she gets no white vote. She's dead with white people and Latinos. So, well, minus that, she's pretty much dead with them, right? She is down. She has negative 68. She's negative 68 overall. She has a 68% disapproval rating amongst the whole city.
It's pretty high.
Right. Just think, she's got to make up 18 points just to get to 50. With no money and the commercials that we've seen thus far. Now the question becomes, can Willie Wilson move 4 points in 2 months? 8 if you believe the poll. Recognizing that the rest of the black vote is a non-factor. So then you have to say to yourself, what has to happen for Willie Wilson? Riis, I don't know that continuing to give out gas is the path. So now you got to look at, right now, who's on TV. The only way you close that gap, Riis, is media. Right? Willie Wilson has to be on TV all over. Here's the other thing I'm wondering. How long Does CTU and SEIU stay with Brandon Johnson if he's polling at less than 10%? He's in the bundle with everybody else. No name recognition, and he's not on TV. Riis, I told you if he wasn't on TV by the 15th, I was going to be saying they might be back and they might be hedging their bet. Right? Like, so if you look at this, and I don't debate that there is something. I don't debate that Local 150 is got their finger on the scale, but I think what they're showing you is there is a path to victory that is building that sense of inevitability. And I don't know that we currently are in the catbird seat. So my thing is, right now, Willie Wilson, Riis, you talking about TV, you talking about more giveaways. I think that the giveaways, the people that are going to be moved by the giveaways are already moved by that. I think now he has to raise his profile and his TV and his presence, and he needs to be broadcast. We need to be seeing him ad nauseum, nonstop, and not in the black community. Right? When Ricky Hendon says he picked up the Polish American Alliance Association, my question is, what does that mean? How many quantifiable votes is that? Right? Because there's how many different Polish groups. When you say the Philippine, what percentage of the block? I'm not suggesting that Dr. Wilson hasn't gotten into those spaces, but what is he going to do to create the machine, to turn it out, to move those points ahead of, again, a Chuy Garcia? Now, the other question again is, Riis, when do the campaigns start? I don't see anybody campaigning. Like, I don't see no TV. I don't see no, and I understand this is the most expensive time, but you do realize that early voting starts in January. Right? That means we got a month. First of the year, people want to start the campaign, but the reality is, Riis, if you have no name recognition right now, it's almost like you're dead in the water. So you telling me that right now, Hope you saying, why am I giving away this free game? Because nobody's paying me for it. So I figure might as well, if I can't get paid, don't nobody get paid. Just do what I say. But again, right now, these are the things that we should be watching. And I'm talking broadcast. Riis, the only way to close this gap is broadcast. So we'll see. Let me say this. Monday, we'll begin a new broadcast week. I don't know that if we don't see, now we've seen Willie Wilson TV spots, right? But I think he's going to have to up the ante, right? They're going to have to move from kind of the local produced spot to a much sharper image to make people believe the rest of the message. To me, Brandon John, like if you don't have money to be on TV, at least by the first week, we really shouldn't probably even be talking to you. Like, honestly. Like, I love all these other candidates in the race, but like from the J-Malls to the Cams, I love all of these people, to even Sophia King. If she don't get the Obama endorsement in the beginning of the month, it's like realistically, we're now just creating subterfuge. And then I got to say who's really in the race to win and who's really in the race to split the vote. To ensure.
People that do that, like,
yes. I would pay people to get in the race.
I was just going to ask, do people be paying people to like?
Yes, get in the race and dilute the black women vote. Get in the race. I'm not suggesting that that's the case, but I think like this. If you don't have, if you don't have the money to be on TV, then you're really distracting. And I think the other challenge, Riis, is that Lightfoot and Willie still split the black vote. They still split it. So for it to even be a winning, like he essentially guarantees her end. Which could be a good thing. But now my question is, if that be the case, then what happens? Then what we find is that Dr. Wilson becomes positioned as the kingmaker again. But what will the deal be? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. I don't think that Sophia King is a spoiler. I don't. But I do think that we've got to be realistic that if people aren't on TV, I hear you. And I hear all of the hope and change and all of the if we could with. Let me tell you, after the last election cycle, after everything that I learned, Riis, like, you know how you lost, but you understand? And they said, if you lose, this is how you're going to lose. And guess what? It was spot on. It was spot on. And they said, by this much, by this money, right? But because in our world, we don't really do politics by science. We've convinced ourselves that stuff don't make sense. It's a reason why people win. And even in the space of a poll that tells you why you can win, it also tells you what steps you have to have and how much money you're going to need in media to get it done. So now if you're polling and you're less than 10%, and you've only got a month and a half to make it up, let's be real. Now, you can say you don't believe the poll. Well, what the hell is your poll say? And if you ain't did a poll, then family, what are you making yours up on? You're doing it like this. You're doing it on how you feel, what you think. I'm good enough. Yeah, you may be, but if you ain't got the money to execute the plan, and if you don't, your poll informs your blueprint to get it done. You're not running for alderman. You're running for mayor. This is the biggest of the big leagues. And what people seem to think or don't recognize is like, they be like, man, it's my dream. Family, well, you got to put some work in before the dream. Like, do y'all do understand that Rahm Emanuel had like $30, $40 million to run for mayor? At least 20. We talking about people with 3. We talking about the mayor of the city of Chicago got 3 now. Understand, and it's like, this is why I got to get out of Wakanda. Because y'all going to have me making emotional decisions when the man, it's easy to rile us up. And when people say, I ain't going to do, we refuse to accept that there is some method and some science to this. Like, people think that Madigan was just successful because he was just a genius. No, he used every tool in the book to give himself the competitive advantage. So if I know that he could tweak his message, and when you tell me, no, I ain't doing none of that, it's like, what science are we doing? Is it political science or is it political theater? Don't tell me, again, you don't get a 40-year run playing games on emotion. And what y'all will have me do is run up the hill based on emotion, and I say, what are you basing that on? How do you know that message works? Because it's message tested. Oh, I don't believe in that. I can make it say whatever I want it to say. Well, you going to make it say what you want it to say so that you can get the outcome that you want. That's what the poll says. You want to win, so they say these things. Because the Wakandans might not believe you, but the rest of the world does. It's the Mace Jackson Show. Look, y'all. It's so often that we deny technology and science because we don't have the economics to employ it or the people to implement it. Riis, you know why certain radio stations don't want to get Arbitron ratings? because then I can know what your real numbers are. And I would rather be able to sell you on my blackness than on my math. So I'd rather be able to say, man, you got to buy me because I'm black, not because I'm the best black, I'm the best option in the space. Because you might find out that the math ain't mathing. So if I could just get you on just the hype and never make you put the science to it, guess what? I keep winning. But if we don't win and we say we doing the same thing and we ain't gonna put no science to it, Riis, I promise you, I had the same people telling me all of the same stuff about polls, and we don't need no poll, and we don't need da-da-da-da-da-da, and Riis. These boys had that joint down to a science, and they was like, you need to do this last thing, and this will put the nail in the hammer on the end of this road. And you know what they said? But you got to have the money to finance it. And guess what we ran out of? Money. And so the reason that the white boy came up was because he then said, his poll told him, if you're going to beat them, the only path you got is to pound this image, and you got to spend $4 million against it. And within the last 2 weeks, when they were desperate, their poll said, you got to put, and somebody had a check to write $4 million, had the money to put $4 million to say, look at the boogeyman at the Urban League. Now, but now, it's like we don't want to look at, like we want to be political, but we don't. Because it may force us out of our comfort zone and force us to do things that we just feel like in the air. The most successful election, you know why black people ain't successful? Because we don't usually have all the tools in the toolbox, right? It's a reason that the speaker had Vote Builder. It's a reason that they did all of these things that we be like, man, it's a reason they had a program. It's a reason you had to go out and knock on 3,000 doors and they had that this was the blueprint to get there. Because success is not just how I feel. The best people have the best tools. So they could tell you that they're going to test the commercial to say that such and such is a sellout. Black people do not decide all races. Black people didn't decide who the governor was. DuPage County decided who the governor was. Come on, man. We had the lowest black turnout in the recent history. Lowest. And they still won. If you took these numbers and applied them 10 years ago, fam, Democrats would have lost across the state. Stop. Black people are very shortly, and with a divided black vote and 68 and 72% of whites and Latinos against the mayor, black folks ain't deciding this race. We're not even the majority in the city. We're 29. So let's just play. It's a third. White people are solidly against. Latinos are solidly against. Black people are split. That means she loses. But again, we will, to our own detriment, and I'm not saying we got to, who's our pollster? Who's the black pollster? Who's the black person that we believe in that is going to give you the sign, the message, the path forward? Or are you just making it up? How is your messaging informed? No, seriously. Is that like crazy? Like, do you realize, you ever heard somebody Riis and they always say the same thing every time you see them? They be like, yes, and I love that. And the fact is, we're going to stop and we're going to fight crime and we're going to, you know why they do that? Because they have messaging that says that people have to hear this same thing 20 times from you so that they believe it. But if you say this, this, and this, right? It's like we don't never want to read the instructions. We just know how to put it together without reading the instructions. And then when you have the ability to see what people do behind the scenes that get them to their level of success, and you be like, remember how I told you I never knew where all those white people went? Guess where they go? Guess when they're making their election camp, when they write their mail, they don't just say, oh, this is what I think. They have a poll that says, you got to put these things, this is what's going to make people feel away. And I just dislike the fact that, you know how you go to church and you know how preachers used to hate education? Like, you know how you go to prayer, and I don't need no preacher. I don't need to go to no college to teach the word of God. The Lord spoke to me. The Lord told me one day when I woke up. Instead of being like spiritually or biblically informed. Like it is a science. That's why they call it political science. There are people who spend millions of dollars. Millions. There are white people who spend millions of dollars to be informed, to study us. Why you think in the poll, Riis, they said black people are 50%, 50-50 for Lori Lightfoot? Because they have to predict when they do a model, what are the black people going to do? So when they come up with their path to victory, they say this is how many black people we got to have. If we win 50% of the black people, if we get 25%, we blow this thing away. If we get 10% of the black people, it's a done deal. Shoot. And I'm here. I see these texts coming across my thing, but I would ask, what black elected official actually controls their vote? What you mean? He had money? Willie Wilson got the most money in the race right now. Union support? Nah, he ain't got no union support because the unions be sunning people. The unions are split between Lori and Willie. And really they split over this fact that they got this whole, this crane ordinance. Hey man, look, I understand everybody's a professional now. I got it. I understand. Shea Capitals gets to tell us how black. I'm just telling you that with 39% turnout, it's been the lowest black turnout in history over the last 10 years. And the reality is our demographics in this space have changed. And with us divided, if there's two black candidates, one white and one Latino, the simple math just says that the black vote is split. And even if all the black people go to Lori Lightfoot, even though it's showing that we're 50-50 in the next race, understand that if 80% of the white folks are against Lori and 70% of the Latinos are against Lori and 50% of the black people are against Lori, that means that, boom, Lori lost. Lori didn't win because of black people. Lori won because of white people on the lakeshore. Black people, like we all went for we all went for Willie Wilson. And then nobody was for Tony Preckwinkle, but the black people didn't decide. Black people overwhelmingly supported Willie Wilson in the last thing. Yep. Been here. I just think that it is interesting that Riis, what is it that we have against, like, the science of it? Like, it's hard for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the reality is, what is Willie Wilson's most effective message against Paul Vallis if he doesn't have any polling? right? Like, what is the most effective message that you can test against your opponents? How do you close the gap? What does your television commercial need to say? How do you contrast? What are the top? We obviously know crime is an issue, but how do we do it? Of course you didn't use the science because you had a limit. Come on, man. It's like Rocky Come on, man. It's Rocky. Okay, come on. Let's stop texting me during this show, man, because you're throwing me off now. Please. I don't want to have this conversation. If you're not fighting a heavyweight candidate, if you are a heavyweight and you fighting a flyweight, you can't count. Let's not do this. All right, stop texting me. Anyway, y'all. So my point is, Riis, this is how we continue to lose, right? Not lose. This is how we become complacent. We don't say, let's get sharper. Let's add all the tools. We don't say we have our own poster. What are the things that make our community get inspired by us? So even as we slide to 39% turnout in this last election, what really probably needs to happen is we need to figure out why are black people not turning out to vote? Because they're not seeing the outcomes that they anticipate. And the reality is, even if the vote total continues to drop, you can win by tremendous amounts. But if 20 years ago a person was winning by 12,000 votes and now the total vote pool is 4,000 votes or 7,000 votes, then yes, you still win and you still get the percentages, but where's the votes? Why have people stopped being inspired to come out? And again, my premise is, what are you saying to black people that make them want to come to vote? If there are 100,000 people that live in a district and only 20,000 of them turn out to vote, that's not success. Right? I mean, success is scalable, but what are we saying to our people to inspire them? And how do you know? Because no one is really saying, has there been a black survey? Has there been a black something that says these are the things that black people care about? Or are these the things that we're going to tell them that they're going to care about? And essentially, that's why we don't have turnout. Essentially, that is why Thornton Township and Rich Township and Proviso Township lost their dominance as DuPage County rises up. There was no overwhelming wave it was 39% in the black communities. That was lower than everybody else, fam. Lower. And I just think that we have to start recognizing that our ecosystem is degraded and we don't have the infrastructure. Yes, I am proud of every single person that is able to call a victory. But we were talking about this the other day. Most elected officials know how to win their district. They know how to call the right groups together, but they are not necessarily engaging, right? Or the aldermen don't necessarily engage their whole ward. There are no ward organizations that are sitting out, that are putting people out on the doors, that are having them come in, that are turning up. Somebody show me there are no top 10 black wards except for the 4th ward now. There was a time when the top 10 was, besides 19, everything else was black. I mean, I've been here. And we've got a steady decline in black participation in the voting process. And we talk past our people sometimes. And that's all. It's like, so when I'm okay with us saying that we don't trust Local 150's poll. but I am also uncomfortable with us not, like we talked about the red wave, we talked about all of those different things. There are times when polling is incorrect, right? But when it comes to messaging, when it comes to targeting, when it comes to, there has to be a baseline of where you base your information on. And if everything is based on what your gut is, and it's funny because I'm so used to hearing, I used to hear somebody say, well, what does your gut tell you? Well, what does your gut tell you? Well, what does your gut tell you? Well, that's cool when you're playing with small areas, but it's almost a disservice for us not to try and use and employ every tool and tactic in the book to be better. And I just think of black preachers who didn't want people to be educated, right? Who taught you to stay dumb instead of saying, like, you know, there's computers out there now that do that, right? You know, there's smartphones. Now you do it the old way, and we just gon' right. But if I looked at the numbers 10 years ago and the numbers were way up here, and it's the same area, but they've dropped down to here, somewhere in the space we got to start talking to our people. Look, y'all, it's the Mays Jackson Show. Let's take a quick break. I know it's the top of the hour. It's almost about to be the top of the hour, but let's take a quick break, and then I want to switch up real quick on this Labor Federation thing. We'll be back.
The Mays Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Mother, there's too many of you crying. Brother, there's far too many of you dying. You know we got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Father, we don't need to escalate. War is not the answer, 'cause only love can conquer hate. You know we got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Picket lines, picket signs, don't punish me. Brutality, talk to me so you can see what's going on, what's going on, what's going on. I want to know what's going What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Mother, everybody says that we're wrong. Who are they to judge us?
You are listening to the Mays Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mays Jackson. You know, one of the things that I wish the best for black folks, right? In this space, and I feel like I keep telling y'all that's why I'm quitting, because I feel like I want the cup to be passed from me. And I do realize that, hey, Riis, in recent years, like there was a time when I ran elections on my gut. And honestly, those elections initially, for all intents and purposes, so the first time I ran my first aldermanic campaign, you know how you think you in charge, but you really ain't in charge? Or you think you in the fight of your life, but it's really like it's not a fight. Your daddy just be like, you fight, son, you think you in the book, but you really ain't in the deep end. And I recognized that if you put me against a black candidate in a black ward and both of us are uninformed, I'll whoop that black candidate's ass anytime. Right? Like if you put me against an average white person with every tool in the toolbox, Riis, I lost. And what I have come to recognize over all these races is that while all my friends were telling me to trust my gut, they were making informed decisions. My friends would be like, yeah, man, that's it. Say his mama. Where had I had an informed document, it would have said, you probably should ask questions about the fact that he shopped at, he spent money, or what's his situation on policy, et cetera, right? And so I used to have this swag when I talked about I was never defeated in a campaign, but usually I was matched up against people who were less informed than me. Right? So I had all of the knowledge that they would give a black person in the space. Remember, Riis, I used to tell you how the black aldermen and everybody, like all the black people, would go out and go do the work and put all this information in a database for the speaker for their election, and then at the end of the election, he'll lock them out. And then he'll have all their information, and then he would put that and put it in a computer. So he would have us go collect all the information. But what we was doing was fighting amongst black folks. So that anytime, like, and you think you the people's champ, and then you would find out that when you fought against a white candidate, they had all these other tools that they never gave black people. And so all the black people would be, we'll all be walking around puffing our chests out because we thought we was the coldest. Until we ran up against somebody who had the tools in the toolbox. And so one of my mentors would always say, man, you keep going and you go learn the stuff that them white people do, and you bring it back to us. And then it'd be funny because it'd be people like, man, we don't need none of that books. We don't need none of that science. We know what we doing over here. You do know what you're doing over here until they decide that they want to put somebody against you who got the science. You've been so busy saying, forget the science, I'm better than the science, when the fact of the matter is, it's like you ain't never had to fight nobody who had the science on their side. And then it was only after the third time of recognizing that the reason I'm now losing all the time is because I am now fighting people who have the science. So while I'm writing mail thinking I'm clever, they're writing mail based on what the phone calls that they had with people in the neighborhood said. And people say, oh, black people don't take calls. Can I tell you what? No, what they do if you got a poll is they say you have to get this many responses, so you keep calling black people until you get me 200 black people. That's the representative sample. Yes. It's a reason that the commercials that she's running are because there was a poll probably that said your path to victory is through androgynous black people and white couch potatoes. She didn't just pick those two people because they thought it was cool. There was something in their polling that says this is how you get there. That third commercial where she says we've got it wrong, that's because they say she's not collaborative. Right? And so she says, look, we haven't gotten it wrong. We all say, you learn. But the fact is, the matter is, her poll says you've got a problem with people believing that you've been abrasive. All of those commercials have a reason. Her delivery is because the pizza delivery we think is stupid because the commercial ain't, we're not her path to victory. Riis is her path to victory. I like the mayor. Right? Riis fits in that space of the millennial who wants to give her a fair shot, that likes to, right? All of that, like the right earring. And I'm like, oh my God, that scares me. Riis is like, oh, come on, man, you tripping. But we would think the way that we've been brought is that, oh, they just made up a stupid commercial. No, fam. It's informed because we're not playing at the levels where it's that much of an importance. You know when they poll races? When they don't think they can win or when they're concerned about how they win. In black races, usually there is no competition. If you live in a black district, right, and you live in a black ward, you ain't really got no competition. The Republican ain't finna beat you. Nobody polls races that are uncontested, that are good. It's when it's gonna be close. And so, as has always been the case, there's no need to spend money in black races, spending money on science, because that stuff costs money. Why do I need to spend money in science money in a black race when they all are uninformed? And that's part of the reason why when people say, Maze, why don't they hire you? Because then I'm going to take away some of the guesswork. I'm going to stop being your gut. And I'm going to say, does that make sense? Right? You know, when they say, oh, we need to have street money, right? Remember when everybody was like, oh, you got to have 1 million signs and you got to have all that. That dude, right, didn't have. So it's funny because, I got to give Ricky just a little business. So, I shout out to Dr. Wilson because he 100% did support Kerry. Right? 100%. But it's tough for me sometimes. Like, it's like, yes, Ricky, you did support Kerry, but we had to pay you. Right? And I had to have signs. And you remember it was like, Maze, I got to get hundreds of signs and I got to do all that. And Fritz didn't have one sign. We didn't see one sign. But I had to hurry up to get the signs out, and we had to pay the people to get the signs out. And so I'm doing gut stuff instead of science stuff. And so all the people telling me what I needed to do on the gut side took away from what I needed to do on the science side. Right? No shade, but it's like it wasn't purely altruistic. We did it for a fee. And these be the challenges that I be sitting up with, like, cause it ain't like nobody just came out of the altruism and said, oh, I'm not tripping because he was supportive. But what J-Lo say, love don't cost for free or whatever it is. My love ain't something. And so I think when we think about it, and I think about all the people that were in my ear with the gut stuff as compared to the science stuff. right? I know what I'm going to get when I get phone calls. I know what I'm going to get when I do direct mail. Putting signs up saying we got the most signs and we go to sign wars, right? And it's like that helps the streets, but would that have been better spent on air? Would that have been better spent doing direct mail? Right? According to the poll, it's direct mail, but I'm listening to the gut. All I'm suggesting, guys, is that there's a reason dude won 40 years. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's a reason, like, and I think we always want to wake up and be like, oh, well, Madigan was just lucky. No, dog, he used every, if it was a new medium that they could use to exploit, guess what they was doing? They was using it. They wasn't saying, oh, we reject technology. All right, y'all, it's the Mace Jackson Show. Let's take a quick break, and I promise you we're going to talk about this casino when we come back. It is the Mace Jackson Show. Mace and Riis will be back.
The Mace Jackson Show will be back after this break. Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Mace Jackson. Mace Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Ty Stroger, I am the host of the Mace Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Mace said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's get down. the business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more. Rahm Emanuel's another case, he was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gon' sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Mace Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis, the ruler, on the ones and twos. And Riis, I do want to have a little fun today. You seen all these tours popping off?
No, I was just listening to you, man.
All right. These tours popping off, man. You see they got Janet Jackson going on tour with Luda, New Edition, Tank, Guy, and Keith Sweat on one road trip. You got Anita Baker. I want to, at about 8:30, 8:40, I want to have y'all put together. I want to know what was the best concert you ever went to. I want y'all to call us. Give us a call at 872-259-7474. What's the best concert, and what would be the best concert? If you could put your own concert together, what would be the best one you could put out? All right, y'all. So, Riis, I don't know if you saw what happened in City Council or yesterday in the Plan Commission. Do you know what the Plan Commission is?
Not at all.
So the Plan Commission is like when there's a huge, super huge project, they are the group. It's a group of people assembled to make advice and to tell the city yes they should do it or not, and what the things that should happen, etc. And yesterday, the Chicago Plan Commission, the headline reads, the Chicago Plan Commission endorses Bally's casino plan. But then, you know how they had the sub-headline? It said, the action sends a zoning proposal to City Council, but 27th Ward Alderman Walter Burnett Jr.'s objection could delay its consideration. So, when I read that, I was like, wait a minute, what? You mean to tell me that Alderman Burnett, who goes along with like every city project, could possibly be against a project in the city, a casino that was going to be in his ward? I was like, what in the heck could possibly going on? So I went and I looked at the paper and I opened up the paper, and this is what I read. It said, Alderman Walter Burnett Jr., whose 27th ward includes the project, assailed Bally's for not disclosing its workforce development plan reached with the Chicago labor unions. Right. Burnett said he is worried that union labor may not provide enough jobs for black residents. A Bally's executive promised to provide the workforce development plan by Tuesday when the project goes before the council zoning committee. So wait a minute. You mean to tell me that the workforce development plan has it? Who had it? And why are we just getting it on Tuesday when they got to vote on it on Tuesday? Until he sees the plan, Burnett said he cannot support the zoning. He has backed the casino. I want to see that by tomorrow, or I'll just raise a lot of hell at the zoning meeting, said Burnett, who has supported the casino, taking what he said were political risks in the process. I need to make sure that people from my community can get a job. Burnett said that the trade unions traditionally have shut out minority workers, so he wants to see a written commitment. You guys need to talk to me, man, if you want my support, he told Christopher Jewett, vice president of corporate development at Bally's. We promised you this, and we will come through, Jewett said. He said Bally's will fulfill all pledges for minority hiring and contracting. Jewett says he needs consent from the trade unions and Chicago Federation of Labor before he can share the agreements. He said, the company told the Plan Commission that 46% of all contracts will go to minority or women-owned firms and that 60% of the hiring will go to minorities. You heard that? Minorities. Burnett said black. He said minorities. When asked for a comment, Chicago Federation Labor President Robert Ryder Jr. said he was looking into the situation. He emphasized that Burnett has long supported labor and continues to be one of our strongest advocates. The panel went on to approve the vote 12-1, and Burnett, a member of the commission, recused himself from the vote. Now, Riis, I always get to thinking, I got to tell you, it threw me off to hear that 27th Ward Alderman Walter Burnett could possibly be going against anything that the mayor was with. You know, y'all, you know, he is Alderman Burnett, to his credit or discredit, often gets beat up for supporting the mayor's projects and supporting labor union projects, right? Even in the cases of, you know, like when people get upset because they say labor won't hire black people, etc. You know, he has been, you know, literally his ward has the most labor union jobs in the city of Chicago. So let's just start there. You know, all the skyscrapers, all the big buildings, all the cranes, all the plumbers, pipe fitters, trade unions, all of those guys, if it wasn't for Alderman Burnett being pro-business development, pro-growth, the labor unions wouldn't all those people wouldn't be working, because Riis, ain't no big buildings and projects all over the city. Pretty much everything is in the West Loop. Real talk. So I was like, what in the world could be driving something like that? And then I heard from somebody that there's something bigger going on. And Riis, it was an interesting situation. So, you know, this is the time right now when all of the city council aldermen are trying to get the endorsement of the Chicago Federation of Labor, right? So if you're running for alderman, mayor, or a city treasurer, or a city whatever, you are right now seeking, all of the people are, like if you look at like Patrick Brutus and all of their Facebook pages and stuff like that, you'll see that they have all gone in front of the Chicago Federation of Labor because the goal of them is they want to be supported by the unions, right? And so Riis, realistically, almost every candidate, whether they talk smack or not, goes to the Chicago Federation of Labor interview because they want the endorsement. The Chicago Federation of Labor it's essentially the House of Labor in Chicago, where every Chicago union kind of has a vote, and then they vote to support candidates for office. And then usually with that, they either give you money, mail, They call their members and tell them to turn out and vote for you, and then they tell you what's going on in each one of the areas. Right? And they say, okay, and then so say like, if you live in, let's say if you live in Beverly, right? And you get the endorsement of the Chicago Federation of Labor, well, they'll tell you where all the plumbers, pipe fitters, everybody that's in a union in Chicago will get a mail piece that says, vote for Riis for alderman, right? It's really a big, big, big deal. But usually, if you are an incumbent alderman with seniority, they don't make you do an interview. So now I was hearing rumors, and so now, Riis, if you got the biggest supporter, the biggest black supporter of labor in your ward, and he's always demonstrated that he's always been pro-labor, he didn't have a race, right? So now you don't have no opponent, and apparently, and I'm not sure exactly who it was, but one of the big white bosses decided that they wanted him to come and bow down. So now, Riis, if you are, now let's also be clear, Alderman Burnett has been in the city council for 28 years. He will be the senior alderman in the city council in the next election because Ed Burke will be gone and so will Kerry Austin. So he will have the most seniority in city council. So I want you to think about that, and then I want you to think about somebody perhaps calling him and telling him, hey, boy, I know you think you're special, but we want to see you down here today. And you know, he's an amicable guy. And he's like, man, we've been friends for years. I don't got no opponents. I don't got no, like, what y'all need to see me for? I got all of the labor unions have their headquarters in my ward. I'm one of the biggest supporters. Hell, I'm a member of Local 399. But the big white boss says, nah, boy, we want to see you down here. But why y'all calling me, man? I don't have a race. We need to see you down here, boy. And so this is my interpretation from one of my inside sources. And so one of my inside sources says that they bring him down to a meeting and he accommodates. Now, mind you, I was just talking to David Moore, who said last week he wasn't going because they didn't give him a fair shake when he was running for Secretary of State. He said he couldn't even get an application. They had just made their decision and was already on board. So Alderman Burnett, who is always cool with everybody, apparently from what I hear goes down to this meeting where he is the senior most alderman in the city council, been the most supportive, got the most jobs, got the most union labor, got the most people working in his ward, union and not, and they tell him, you lucky boy, we didn't run the candidate against you. As if to punk him. Now imagine, Riis, you've been in city council 28 years. All these people sitting in the room, you done helped them, you done voted for all of their stuff, and they call you down and tell you, hey boy, you lucky, and don't get over your skis. And so, from what I hear, he apparently got upset. Because they apparently tried to punk him.
They was pulling his whole card.
They tried, right. Now, mind you, they did this knowing that they have a casino vote coming up, and the two white aldermen are opposed to it. They don't have to go through that, and they call him down to sun him. Basically, now, Riis, when the black people that was in the room told me what happened, they said everybody was sitting there like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. So much so to the point that the man got up and walked out. At least this is what they telling me. And it almost, from the way it was described, it was the attempt to break a black man who is about to ascend to the top spot in the city council from someone younger than him, and felt the need to check that boy. Riis. The challenge then becomes, as a black person, you're not supposed to be able to say nothing, because then they gonna whoop you. Like, so imagine somebody saying that to you, Riis, and you got to vote on their budget, or you got to vote on the biggest project they got the next week. And they felt comfortable enough to come try to sun you in front of a whole room full of people. And it got me to thinking about yesterday's conversation where I was saying there's no safe place for a black, like, people feel like they could do and say whatever they want to say to black men. And when you think about a person that has supported them without question for 28 plus years, to come bring him down and try and make him say his name. Yesterday, you saw the outcome at City Council. Riis, and then here's how this is how you know it's racist. Let me ask anybody, do they think that could have ever happened to Ed Burke? Federally indicted or not, nobody would have felt comfortable trying to punk the elder statesman of the city council. And it just felt as though, and this is all like, this is the reports from the black people that was in the room. And I was like, well, damn, black people, what y'all do?
Listened.
Watched. Talked about it afterwards. Man, it wasn't me. And I guess my question becomes, like, when and where do black men get respect in this joint?
Of all the African Americans I get.
Yo, it's not even about the bodies being buried. It is about the fact that Riis, these people the black people have a vote and a voice. I cannot imagine a white person that would have been subjected to that, senior, elder, or not. And then to think that someone, Riis, it's a certain way you talk to just to somebody that's older than you. And I don't understand, like, Riis, there is the concept or the perception that racism abounds in certain labor spaces. Oftentimes, yes, Hope, this is 100% the same people, Hope. Yes. Which, again, nobody wants to really print the whole story. But my premise becomes, Like, when do we get respect in this city? Like, I just don't know that there is, under any circumstances, where a white alderman, Pat O'Connor, you name them, Dick Mel, any of the senior member of the city council, with no opponent, being told that we was working on running a candidate against you. In spite of every time that you've supported him, he supported your issues. Was it to show that we can whoop a nigga in public? Riis, you ever had somebody that just show out because it's women there? That try to punk you because it's right. I'm a stun on you because, and it's like, where is the loyalty? And who checks that? Because here's what'll happen. What'll happen is then it's gonna be, they gonna get on, and you know what the next step will be? We gonna try and threaten his wife. That May's up there talking about the, look, man, because I'm tired of seeing black men being disrespected with no repercussion. And the black people be around knowing that the disrespect happened and be chilling. It's the Mays Jackson Show. Caller, you on the Mays Jackson Show. What's up?
Shalom, shalom.
What up, Israel?
Yeah, I can believe that happened because the unions punked that whole Valley team. So I guess the only obstacle left was your guy on the west side. I was in the room and some Valley people told me because it was a big fight with the unions in the city for the Valleys. I'm quite sure you're aware of it. And they ignored, they said, F you, pay me or whatever. But we getting it together in Inglewood because they trying that Inglewood too with this Whole Foods Save a Life. We don't want no Save a Life. Samir, Leon Rogers. I'm calling out names.
It's not Rogers. Not Leon Rogers. Not Leon Rogers.
Leon something. Walker. That's his fucking name. Leon Walker. Look all them people, man. I'm on the rampage. The king on the rampage in the neighborhood with me. Inglewood, that is. We gonna come out west too. I know some brothers out there. Yeah, that Valley's gonna have some problems. You already know I'm on it. Chris, the white boy Chris, I know who all over there.
Okay. I appreciate you.
They know
King,
me.
King, I'm just telling you like this, man. It's like they taking their jobs off the top. So my thing is, so it's a community hiring program, and they got a workforce development plan. Well, who shows the black people where they fit in it? And y'all is just gonna hold it? So you mean to tell me that the black jobs got to come off the top? And it's not black because it's minority. But I guess my question is, when have I ever seen loyalty to a black person? That's my thing though. It's like, here's me, right? And I know some of you all will be hostile to this. But to the people that do politics, that are in city council, y'all know that Alderman Burnett, like, think about this. There are 2 white aldermen that are opposing the casino, and they chose to punk the black dude who's supporting it. Or to attempt to. And it's like, then we'll be forced to be quiet, right? It'll be forced to be, and my thing is, like, family. This is the second time in a week that I've heard something like this. Where they coming and getting black people out the bed. Y'all summoned them down there. Riis, do you think there's ever a time that white labor would have ever called Ed Burke and said, hey, your ass down here? What do I need to come down here? And I'm not saying he responded like that, but I'm saying, you lucky we didn't run somebody against you. What? So you mean I'm supporting all your stuff, and this is how you treat me? And I feel like I was under the impression it just goes to the point that there are no rights that a black man has that white men feel responsible to. And I think they got to make it right, bro. It's the Maze Jackson Show. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, I want to talk about concerts. I want to hear from y'all. So give us a call, 872-259-7474. We'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break. Maze Jackson.
Tune in to the Maze Jackson Show every day, Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 a.m., where you can catch us on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook Live. Plus, from 6:30 to 8, you can get us on WBGX 1570 a.m. That's right, it's the Maze Jackson Show, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them, Maze said. We out of here. Peace.
I'm feeling good, y'all. Smiling more every day. Closer to my dreams, hey, guapole, the food tastes better. I stopped smoking squares, healing from the inside out, making repairs. I forgave some people, thanked them for the lessons, cause holding on to it was blocking my blessings. No more stressing, worry dishonors God, so I just pray, and I'm loving my odds. Mingle with like minds, gravitate where light shines. Graduate, masters, your rhymes ain't like mine. Big dank from the west side, this is my best self. Taking vacations, hoping the rest helps. Got a career now, loving what's ahead. My spirit is free from the stuff that I shared.
I feel good now, ain't that what life's about? Thank you for new days, something to sing about. Let's do it a new way, more than just talk about. Today's a holiday, that's what it's all about. I feel good now, ain't that what life's about? Thank you for new days, something to sing about. Let's do it a new way, more than just talk about. Today's a holiday, that's what it's all about.
I'm feeling so good now, walking on higher ground. Got out the country, visit some new towns, made some new friends, let go of some bad ones. Soon as that took place, everything got fun. My lifestyle going up, opportunities showing up. I'm back where I wanna be, no headaches and throwing up. Reconnect with the homie, it's positive energy, vibes and wavelengths. It's all about frequency. I'm back with my first love, it feel like the first time. I'm back in the studio, this ain't my first rhyme. I wake up every day, blessed as heavenly. Before I ain't say much, now I got much to say. Raise my credit score, got rid of some past debt. Heard that's attractive, well call me a magnet. Plugged into an outlet, living life outright. All on my Kid Cudi, focusing day and night. Right?
Now ain't that what life's about? Thank you for new days, something to sing about. Let's do it a new way, more than just talk about. Today's a holiday, that's what it's all about. I feel good now, ain't that what life's about? Thank you for new days, something to sing about. Let's do it a new way, more than just talk about. Today's a holiday, that's what it's all about.
See, my state gets busy. That's the cardinal rule.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. Shout out to Abstract Mind State. We got some good music in this joint. Some good stuff locked up in that brain box of the morning show. Uh-oh. Yeah, it's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Riis, how do we I'm wondering, how do we get the respect of black men back in the city?
First, we got to respect ourselves, and second, we have to unite. We got to, that's what we don't do. We don't unite. So if we don't respect ourselves, and then if we don't come together to unite, then why should any other race or anybody else, do the same?
How do we unite, considering, so I know I keep talking about this, but I really would like to have like a black male atonement thing or something in Chicago, where black men just come in a room and it's like we can kind of forgive each other for being rich or poor or whatever it is that are the things that divide us, and say, can we just begin the black male nod again? Can we just start with just the black male nod? Like, just like not seeing a brother and being like, let me glare at you to see, but just a nod. Just a nod. Like, even if we could begin with just a nod. Like, I mean, when you nod, man, it throw people off. It's almost like if somebody trying to men grill you, be like, what's up, bro? They be, hey. Because it's like, I need for y'all to understand that how you feel about the person ain't really the issue. It's the fact that they feel comfortable doing it. And then there's going to be black people that provide them refuge. Instead of black folks saying, hold up, cuz, is it true I heard? Like, this is what the thing is. He's there. The dude will have black validators who will be like, man, you cool with me? No, fam, you can't be going around here punking people, trying to punk people. Like, and again, it's the black people that will validate it for you, that will make an excuse for it, that will then make it happen to the next one of us. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Can we please have a black male atonement or something at a barber? Oh, you said have it at a bar. Oh, is that Tennille?
I like that, though.
We need a big-ass barbershop, though. It's the Maze Jackson Show. Caller, you on the Maze Jackson Show. What's up?
What's up, man? How you doing? Tyrone
Riis, Muhammad. Shout out to my girl, Tracy Bay, who just whooped the challenge and is now on the ballot in the 4th Ward. Hey, I was somewhere else the other day, and I heard y'all about to get some checks or something. But anyway, what's up, Ty Rizzle? You back? What you say to Joe Biden, man? I know you was in the White House, man. Did you bring us something back? You bring us something back, man?
Susan, right? Yeah, I did bring something back. Most definitely, we was down there, really talking about some real issues and policies around public safety and violence prevention. So intervention, shall I say? But yeah, because you know me, how I go. When I go down there, I'm representing the people, the community. But more than anything, I was more thrilled about the Baltimore and the Bloods and Chris, different brothers, taking it around the Baltimore area. So as we expand ECCSD Baltimore, we want to be able to just tap in to all our people all over the country that's having these issues. We got all unemployment, we got violence, we got mental health, we got reentry issues. So everything the same all around the country while we just focusing on Chicago. But with that being said, even around here, bro, I shared it before with the candidates, with Walter Burnett. The fact that he stood and allowed these dispensaries to pop open without no community benefit agreement in his ward, and didn't care about what we thought and how we felt. But in this issue, I stand with my brother 100%, because we can't continue to allow this to happen. I'm happy when white folks smack Negroes to let them know, listen, you still a Negro. I don't care who you is. First of all, if y'all don't have no real support, y'all don't have no real unity as black men, y'all don't have no real coalition to get at the issues and ills while sons are killing our women out here, terrorizing our children, and we sit back talking about development, but we don't develop the human minds and potential in our own communities, man. I really don't have any respect for these aldermen that allow that much development to go on in their wards and no real participation and allow the unions to lock black people out the way they have done. So go kiss the ring. But remember, if we don't come together like you're saying it now, and you know I've been saying it. Tried that with the Overdelis and all the other little people that we've had running that think they got some type of connection to the establishment. But all I'm saying to you is that we have to turn up, and we are turning up We always planning. We always organizing on the ground because that's the only way you're going to get this done. You can't let everybody know what you're doing when it comes time to slap Negroes upside the head and to kick white folks in the ass to say we are not standing for continued disinvestment in our communities. We're not standing for the continued violations of our communities, our people, and even the fact that we can have all this violence and have all these issues in our community, and unions and the labor unions think that they can continue developing our unions and in our areas and get tip funding and everything. If we sit back and watch this, and we got to be out of our mind. But Chris, I've had that conversation with that brother in Valley to say, hey man, we're not accepting it. You have to have better connections and relationships with our community when we get employment opportunities. Just like with the cannabis dispensary, we're not through with that either. We're not through with that, man. But we're gonna get at this current issue is these casinos, and it's long overdue for Walter Burnett and others like him to start coming to grips, bro. When you got a better relationship, you can broker those relationships. Don't just talk about it, man. Do it, man. You know what it is. You know how the pulse of the community in the streets against people like Walter Burnett, and then the pulse of these ones that think they don't have to deal with us. Until one of the shorties roll up and slap them upside their head, then it's like, hey, man, call your mans and them off me. So it's getting to that point, man, where these brothers are starving. These people, they steady seeing development going on, but our communities is still in disrepair. But we can't keep accepting this, man. We gotta figure this out. And I want to hear your point on that, man, before I hang up. But anyway, bro, you gotta broker it. Stop talking about it, man, and make it happen. And not in no barbershop.
We need a space probably as big as yours. Thanks, Brother Tyrone. So guys, do you know that the movement, what really sparked the Black rebellion against Daley back in the day? One of the brothers that people respected in the community, and his name escapes me, help me, Celine, was the victim of, respected brother was the victim of police whooped his tail. And what's his name? The runner, Ralph Metcalf, who had been with Daley and was always with Daley, was like, Dad, how could y'all do it to a guy who's always been on the team? And I do think to the people in labor who I know listen, because I just seen y'all and we talk about it. The open disrespect of a black man in public only reaffirms all the things that Tyrone and Israel and all of the brothers that have been on the front lines say. They feel like they could talk to us any kind of way and do us any kind of way. I gotta say, to see it, to hear what I heard from the describers. No, I'm not anti-labor. What I am is anti-disrespect of black men or black people. Now, if that's baked in, then you call it what it is. But you have to understand, and I need for everybody listening to recognize that there is under no circumstances that would have ever happened to Ed Burke. And if you can't see those two men as equal, although they have the same vote, the same weight, and now the same length or the same title, then you must understand that it's racism. And I didn't do it, you did. And you felt comfortable. And it's like now everybody want to find somebody black to call somebody black on somebody black to make everybody. Like how many. Riis, it blows me, man. That blew me. That blew me. I cannot lie. To hear and to know, like, and then you know when they doing it in front of black people in the room and white people, like, what you doing this for sport? Like, I was thinking of the movie Emancipation. And I was just thinking, like, there's always a white guy that feel like they just can do anything to black people and we just got to take it. And then if you say something about it, then now I got to worry about my family getting threatened.
Yeah, that's one of my biggest issues. Like, I just hate when they be like, well, you know how it is. Well, you know you ain't supposed to. Why do I know? You know what I'm saying? Like who made this rule? Who going by it? So, yeah, like, I definitely understand how, like, when that person comes in just to let you know. Like, my favorite thing that you ever said was, and they was like, oh, you heard him. He was a special Negro. And they was like, wait. There are special Negroes. like, but that to me is so funny because that's how they like. Because it sounds like something like, wait, they are.
like they like. I didn't know there were special Negroes. Well, where do they make these at? Because they all Negroes to me.
And that'd be funny. So,
and we all got to smile, and it's like, and so everybody black is right now seeking the approval of somebody who has no respect for you. Like, I mean, I just think like you think about. Think about that. Like everybody black is going in right now for all of our people to bow down to somebody that just does not respect us as men. Tyrone Muhammad would like to announce that Senator Ricky Hendon is now a member of ECCSC. Brother Bamani Obadeli says, set the table, I'm there. Who's going to convene us? Yeah. See y'all at Obsidian. Anyway, y'all, it's the Mays Jackson Show. Riis, I don't want to move on from this. What's the best concert you ever saw? Who is the best concert? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. What is the best concert you've ever seen? Who's the best concert you've ever seen? Riis, who is yours?
So you know what? I haven't been to, like, a lot. I think I've been to, like, 6. So it got to be. So the Big Jam was good.
Just recently?
I went. I went, like, a few years back. It was cool. But it was cool, but they had commercials. It was like weird. It was like you know how it's a break and you waiting on, like, you know, it was like commercials. I'm like, why is it commercials?
Because they got sponsors in that building.
Yeah, right. So, but that one, who else had to go? I went to Jay-Z 44 That was a dope concert. But I think the best concert I went to, I think my lady, you know, I don't know the names per se, but I think I saw Day 26.
Who?
Exactly. I think that's who it is. No, it's not Day 20. Coldplay. I saw Coldplay.
I saw Coldplay.
Coldplay had to be one of the best concerts I went to. It was Coldplay.
Okay. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. The best concerts, the 3 best concerts I ever went to. Puff Daddy and the Family in the World Tour. Right?
Yeah, my brother said that. He went to the one where they was throwing real money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it was at the Allstate Arena. And everybody came out and did their part to their song. So Jay-Z was on the tour, DMX was on the tour, Lil' Kim, the Lox. So, like, when they did the Benjamins, all the Benjamins came out.
That was
when,
dope.
like,
Jay-Z was with them?
Jay-Z was on the tour.
Dope.
Busta Rhymes was on the tour. It was the best concert that I, like, Jay-Z, and all of them did their own sets, and then they came in and did they did all of the collabos. So if it was a collabo, then the artist actually came back out. That was Puff Daddy and the Family was the best tour I ever went to. Best show. The first time. Because it came back a second time and it wasn't as good. Then Lauryn Hill at the Chicago Theater. That show, when she did the drummer versus the DJ, and it was unbelievable, and it was when Lauryn Hill was the biggest artist in the world, and it was Chicago Theater, and she did like this show, and it was beautiful. And my third best was Sade at the United Center, where she had 3 sheets hanging from the ceiling. You know how like the girls used to do she ain't do none of that stuff. It was just they showed different images and she just played music, and it was the most simple but bomb concert, and I ain't even like Sade like that.
Yeah, I can't really get into Sade neither way.
I'm gonna tell you, I was not the bit. After that concert though, I was like, woo-wee. Jade, let's see.
Oh, I forgot I did go to Donda, but I was mad at Donda. That's gotta be
Kanye, not Donda. The Kanye concert with Kanye's the one where he had the glasses with the sunglasses with the lines in them. I think it was, if you realize you are a champion, and guess who's back? That concert where he did the Tilton stage. And it was like, it was a stage, and it was just like it was like, I was like another one of them basic things, but the stage just tilted, and he was like on a planet. I was like, Kanye is a genius. Those were the best concerts. Who was your best concert that you ever went to? Let's see. Michael Jackson World Tour. I didn't get to go to the Michael Jackson. I have been to numerous Prince concerts, but like, I saw Prince the last time he was in Chicago live, and I wasn't supposed to take a picture, and I did. He was at the City Winery.
Oh, they said no pictures?
They said no pictures, and we watched people get kicked out, and I took a picture. It was right when Carrie, Carrie, I remember it was one of the first dates when I was with Carrie, and she was like, oh, you got the plug. She was scared we was going to get kicked out, though. I was like, I'm getting this picture. Little did I know, like a year later, Prince would be dead. Crazy, right?
Real crazy.
Who else? Anybody else? Nobody got no favorite concerts? Y'all whack. Anyway, it's the Maze Jackson Show. We should be paying attention today. City Council, you all go online. We can go to the city clerk's site and check it out. I got stuff to do today. Shantae, Tyrone, if you don't get up, we going to talk about Tyrone. He going to say Shantae Moore, and he probably got his little poodle in his hand while he doing it. Come here, little poodle. Ooh, little poodle. Maze, Frankie Beverly, he can't even sing no more. Frankie Beverly concerts, he don't even sing, dog. The people sing the songs. He just be like, and I know.
I did see the OJs, and they was good.
Okay.
I don't know what version of the OJs it is now, but, I took my mom to see the OJs, and they was good.
The OJs. All right, who going to see Janet? You going to see Janet at the I'm going to see Janet at you think she could still do Pleasure Principle?
Yeah,
it's
she
the
can still,
Pleasure
she,
Principle.
Can, you know what?
Now think about it, she about to be 60, dog.
Still looking still looking good for 60. How long did Tina Turner sing? And look, she's
What's
good.
love got to do? Tina Turner came back out at 60. All right, the New Edition concert. Which New Edition you said was the best one? Oh, Beulah, I'm not even talking to you. I forgot. Did I ever tell y'all about Beulah on Founders Day, on Alpha Founders Day? That I cut off again?
What's she doing?
Because she was like, ladies, I'm taken, but if you are looking for a man, it sure is a lot of alphas out here. They're my favorite. You better get your eyes like you are banned. I almost blocked her.
You know how you got to show love. It was December 4th. You know how you got to, how somebody do something. You be like, you know what? It's your birthday. I'm going to let you slide with that. It was our birthday, man. So, you know how it is. I appreciate you that.
Look at my face.
It's our birthday, man. Come on, man.
Tiffany says Lucy Pearl at the House of Blues. Let's see. Lucy Pearl was good. Let's see. Yeezus Tour on the Run tour. Yup. First favorite concert, Rihanna. Oh, I gotta put Rihanna, cause you know that's where I got Carrie. That's the first time I got to squeeze her booty. Oh, I wasn't supposed to tell nobody. Actually, I don't think I actually got a squeeze. I was trying to get behind her, and I kept rubbing behind her. And then
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Let's see. Who else? Who else y'all got up here? Went on a date with my high school girlfriend to Cleveland, Ohio. Vanity Time and Prince. I bet that was off the chain. Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life. How old are you, Tracy? The only so-called brother I have issues with. Okay, we'll let that be. Charlie Wilson. Man, if I see Charlie Wilson do the same show again. How you doing? My name is Charlie. Last name Wilson. And I don't mind if I take you out for a little ride. Maxwell's whack, dog. Fat Boys with Curtis Blow. Did anybody ever go to Fresh Fest? You went to the Scream tours, Riis? No. I would never lie to you. Remember Immature?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then they turned to IMX.
Oh, is that what? I don't remember IMX.
Yeah,
what was the one?
That's my very first time. They was IMX then.
What was the other? What was the girl, I think that Subway. We should play the little game we play. I say I play run and you play. I can't remember that one. That was a good one though. Yeah. Did you ever go to the concerts at the Regal?
I don't think I only went to one, and I can't even remember which one it was. I gotta backtrack.
Let's see. Who else we got? Fat Boys. I don't know if Jay-Z has ever had one of my favorite concerts. I mean, like, you know, like Jay, I just be like, let's just do it, right? Right. It's just like, it just be like, come on, man, let's just do us a concert right here. And I feel like the Jay-Z shows just be concerts. I remember when they did Watch the Throne, and they did Niggas in Paris like 50,000 times. The Dells and Gladys Knight, Phyllis Hyman at Dejois, Prince and Purple Rain. I want to go see Usher in Chicago. I mean, in Vegas.
Vegas, yeah. You know what? Actually, somebody asked me to go for my birthday in March. I told them I might take them up on that.
Okay, all right. Somebody.
I mean, it's a group of us going, so we
okay. I was just checking. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, Bueller, we're not talking to you, so you could just stop.
I talk to you, Bueller.
No, you're not, Bueller. You're cut off. You're cut off. I might ban you for like 30 days. I might just put you on the 30 days. Let's see who else we got. 872-259-7474. Constance, you got a concert? I just tell us your best concert. I just need like 3 best concerts. Tyrone talk about some Shantae Moore. I lost Shantae after she, what was she? Didn't she divorce Kadeem Hardison? I'm still mad about that. All right, y'all. Anybody? Going once, going twice. All righty. Look, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? So for Maze, Riis, and Ruthie, until next time, if you don't like it, you can still tell them. The Fugees, New Kids on the Block. Hey, what was that group? What was the 3-piece?
Nah, 3-piece loaded.
What we should do a show about the
I know we can get them somehow.
We should do a show, a Chicago, like the greatest artists of Chicago. Like whether they had one hit wonder, like who is your favorite all-time Chicago artist? That should be a question we should do for one of these days this week.
Yeah, like exclude one person, you already know who everybody gonna pick.
Okay, minus Kels.
Did you? And I know we don't talk about him, but I know you. Before they had his album and they took it off. I know you heard about it.
Yeah, but he said it didn't have nothing to do with it. Shauna used to snap. Man, when Shauna, that was funny when Shauna was here. I used to love Shauna and Tifa. Man, I never forget the first time I saw Shauna come up out that seat, man, when the concerts was cracking in Chicago. Follow me. You think the best songs from Chicago? We should name the best song from Chicago and the best artist from Chicago.
And the cha-cha, hey, you know.
Oh, cha-cha wins.
Why Cass will come to both fields and buy some food Sunday? I promise you not.
Because he hungry.
Right now, just so funny, and we ain't even know. But my brother knew it. You know, he was a real cool guy, too.
No, check this out. Can I tell you? So, when Cha-Cha Slide first came out, Marvell came to our house, came to our place, and said, I got this new artist. His name is Casper, and he got the Cha-Cha Slide.
We're going to get funky.
And I remember they shot the first video at the Click, Vince Bass, and we did not jump on, and that is now probably one of the biggest songs in the whole entire world. And guess who produced it?
Ooh.
The BDs. Remember the fake radio station? Remember the
Yeah, I do remember the radio.
Riis. I don't know if Casper got the rights. But fam.
If he do, he decent.
Fam.
If he decent, he decent. That
Fam.
song plays every time I go at family fun.
Man, it's on NFL. It's on and we're gonna get funky. Riis. I'm just saying. You know how many times I be thinking about how many times me and Big Swill just passed up on. He was like, nah, we ain't going with that one. Mace, we want you to. Nah, we not going to. But you know, the brother. No, folk, no. We not doing that. We was like, nah, we not doing it. Nope, sorry. Nope.
That was a classic.
Then, like 6 months later.
One hop this time.
2 hops. Then don't get I still can't do the what's the funky one? When they you know, and they turn. Yeah, I can't do that. I can't do none of that.
Right foot down. Left foot down. Cha-cha now, y'all. Cha-cha again.
Cha-cha again.
You know they go to always, though. But look what it did, though.
Cha-cha.
That's how, look, he probably getting paid off that, too. This man is a...
Lord have mercy. Slide to the left. Slide to the right.
Just be so simple sometimes. That's what it be.
Cha-cha again.
It be so simple sometimes.
It be so simple, but it be so hard. I be like, hold on. Don't let me get off. Because if I get off, then I be like, then, you know, back in the day, you used to try and find you know, you had to just try and link up on somebody and just ride. They be, You remember when people used to dance like this?
Yes.
Why y'all pointing y'all fingers down?
I don't know, I guess look at the lower heart pad. Listen, dancing has evolved now. It's crazy. It's the new wave now. You get you a TikTok, start dancing, and you'll be all right.
Lord have mercy. All right, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host. We'll be back tomorrow with another edition of the Maze Jackson Show. And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Cha-cha again. Maze saying we out of here. Peace.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more... Rahm Emanuel's another case, he was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.